Buenas tardes mi gente y bienvenidos a V-Game Masters. Este es Ariel Video Rosado que los saluda nuevamente. Después que en el día de ayer no pudimos hacer stream, ya que como ya saben la gran parte de la isla se quedó sin luz en el día de ayer. A mí la luz me vino a llegar a eso como casi a las 10 de la noche, casi 10 y pico por ahí. Y por tal razón no pudimos subir. Y hoy ya hemos estado experimentando varios bajones de luz. Ya empezó a llover. Estuvo lloviendo hace como 2 horas, 2 o 3 horas atrás, bien fuerte, pero bajó. Y entonces hasta el momento está calmado. Pero mientras estuvo lloviendo, estuvo dando como que bajones de luz como tal. Estaba flashando un poco la luz, pero no se llegó a ir. Da la casualidad que mi madre vive a 4 calles de distancia, 3 o 4 calles de distancia de donde yo vivo, y normalmente a mí se me va y ella no. Y esta vez fue al revés. A ella se le fue la luz, a mí no. Vaya, y por ahí tenemos a Ghost Boy. Saludos a todos. Bienvenido. Tienes el primer. Te llevaste el primero ahí. Moche no sé si vaya a aparecerse por ahí. Pues ya Moche está terminando los últimos procesos que tiene de su mudanza y todo eso. Y está loco por volver a caer en tiempo con nosotros. Me estaba hablando hace un rato atrás de que se siente demasiado alejado, y es que ha estado sumamente ocupado con varias cositas personales. Sí, ya Moche se retiró, sí, se retiró. Podemos decir, podemos decir que Moche es un viejito ya. Ahora soy yo con los primers. Eso es así. Pues nada, pues la cuestión es que decidí entonces, en vez de hacer el stream a la hora que lo iba a hacer, decidí empezar un poquito más temprano, por el hecho de que si se va la luz, si viene a joder la luz otra vez y todo eso, como dicen aquí, que aquí estamos preparados para todo, pero estamos preparados para quedarnos sin luz. A eso es lo que estamos preparados. Así que de por sí, pues me dio por empezar entonces un poco más temprano hoy. Y vamos a continuar jugando lo que es el juego de Snatcher, que ya llevamos como 2 semanas que no lo volvemos a tocar. Ya salimos como tal del juego de Darksiders 3, terminamos el juego el lunes. Yo pensaba que todavía me faltaba un poco más del juego, pero no, estaba prácticamente ya ahí pisando los talones para terminar el juego. Y se fue. Eh, Mira, no menciones esa palabra, ahora se te va la luz. Cállate, 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 que me tiene mal eso. Ya entonces tengo planes para próximos juegos que voy a estar jugando en los streams. Voy a estar ya atacando un poquito algunos de los juegos que tengo en el Summer Backlog Challenge, para ir bajando los juegos que tengo, especialmente los de mi lista inicial. Ya yo de por sí, ya yo completé el challenge, ya yo terminé los 5 mandatorios juegos que tú tienes que terminar como mínimo. Ya con eso yo cumplí el challenge, pero quiero terminar los demás juegos que tengo en mi lista. Entonces todavía me queda Assassin's Creed 2, todavía me queda creo que son como 3 juegos. Era Assassin's Creed 2, Mirror's Edge, y ahora mismo no recuerdo el otro que tengo por ahí. Pero entonces tengo unos juegos que les tengo hasta promos hechas ellos desde hace tiempo, que quiero jugar como parte de Summer Backlog Challenge. Uno de ellos lo estoy viendo ahora mismo, que es el juego de Hawks 2, Tom Clancy's Hawks. Esto es un juego de aviones de Tom Clancy, la segunda parte, pero lo voy a estar jugando en lo que es la versión de Wii. pero al mismo tiempo también tenemos Devil May Cry, DMC para lo que es The Box, ir jugando ese juego por allí. Ups, mira, se me apagó el televisor. Inactividad en el televisor y se apaga. En Puerto Rico están del cara con la luz. Acá yo te digo que sí, en Chicago es la ciudad de los vientos. Ese es el estado del viento. La ciudad de es el estado de los vientos. Vientos de tormenta tropical y no se cae la luz. No, es que tú sabes, después del huracán, que el huracán como tal fastidió lo que estaba jodido, ya lo terminó de joder. Pues el sistema eléctrico aquí está sumamente débil, aunque hoy se pusieron a decir ahorita en las noticias por televisión, que mi esposa me lo estaba diciendo, de que el sistema está robusto, robustamente jodido es lo que está, robustamente jodido es lo que está, porque aquí sopla un vientito, se fue la luz. Es más, ayer se fue la luz y no había sucedido nada, aunque las noticias salieron, ayer dijeron que no sabían el por qué había ocurrido lo que pasó, y entonces hoy se pusieron a estar diciendo que fue un acto terrorista, sabotaje, que en verdad no sé por qué, no sé si se referirán por actos de sabotaje por parte de la Unión de Lutier, por cuestión de la privatización, porque ya tienen a un privatizador que quiere, y es el único que tiene como tal, que quiere coger la compañía. Así que eso mismo pasó. Yo trabajé para Telefónica, cuando estuvieron las protestas por parte de la Unión, cuando salió lo de Fortunata y todo eso. Yo trabajaba en la Puerto Rico Telephone Company cuando la fueron a privatizar, y me acuerdo bien de los sabotajes que ocurrieron durante ese tiempo a los servicios telefónicos. O sea que esto sí sucede. Así que, pero como estamos ahora nosotros aquí, mano, no estamos para que estén jodiendo con sabotaje ni nada por el estilo, porque las cosas aquí están del carajo para que vengan a estar jodiendo con eso. Pero a robusto, que chiste. 200k abonados sin luz. Shut the fuck up. Exactamente. Pero nada, vamos entonces, antes de continuar, quiero recordar que ya nos está acercando la próxima actividad de Extra Life, del equipo de Extra Lifers 24/7. Hace como 2 meses atrás, creo que fue, estuvimos haciendo un evento que se llamaba el Raid Marathon, así que ahora nos estamos preparando para el Raid Marathon 2, el cual estaría ocurriendo el 8 y el 9 de agosto. 12 horas cada día. Va a ser un maratón de 24 horas en total. Pero va a ser dividido en dos. Y va a comenzar a partir de las 8 de la mañana hasta las 8 de la noche cada día, donde distintos miembros del equipo van a estar transmitiendo para el evento. Una vez que ese streamer del equipo termine, toda la gente que esté en ese canal va a hacer un raid al próximo streamer del equipo, y así sucesivamente desde las 8 de la mañana hasta las 8 de la noche. Sábado 8 comenzamos con Mr. Sombra jugando Dying Light a partir de las 8 de la mañana hasta las 11 de la mañana, seguido por Alex Nation jugando Good Boy de 11 de la mañana a 2 de la tarde, y después estaríamos pasando con nuestro amiguito Andrés Sol de Vira, que estaría jugando Dark Souls desde las 2 de la tarde hasta las 5, y estaríamos cerrando el sábado conmigo desde las 5 de la tarde hasta las 8 de la noche jugando Red Steel, o maldiciendo Red Steel a todo lo que da. Y seguimos entonces el domingo a las 8 de la mañana con Nicole J de Press Pass jugando Crash The Insane Trilogy. Luego estaremos pasando con nuestro querido amigo Code Taino TV, jugando Ori de 11 a 2 de la tarde. Metaverse se estaría siguiéndolo de las 2 de la tarde hasta las 5, jugando Fury, y estaríamos cerrando el evento con Mighty JR Gaming desde las 5 de la tarde hasta las 8 de la noche. Este evento como tal es traído por el equipo de Extra Lifers 24/7, jugando por los niños de la Fundación de Niños San Jorge de Puerto Rico. Recuerden que todo donativo va directamente a la fundación. Usted puede auspiciar a cualquiera de los miembros del equipo, ya que nosotros no tocamos nada de este dinero. Esto va 100% a la fundación. Recuerde que no nos está ayudando a nosotros, está ayudando a la Fundación de Niños San Jorge de Puerto Rico. Así que recuerden que tienen esa cita con nosotros sábado 8 y domingo 9 de agosto, desde las 8 de la mañana hasta las 8 de la noche. Extra Life 24/7 Raid Marathon 2. Pues sí, vamos entonces a continuar con el juego de Snatcher. En el área donde me quedé, y deja, Néstor, si estás ahí todavía, déjame saber si se está escuchando muy duro el audio del juego, porque ahora mismo nos quedamos exactamente en el mismo sitio que nos quedamos la otra vez, y este ruido es bien molestoso. El ruido que escogieron para esta parte del juego, que es bien molestosa. La cuestión es que tenemos que abrir la tercera puerta, y es la hora que no encuentro cómo abrir la tercera puerta. De verdad que no encuentro cómo abrir esa tercera puerta. Tenemos esa tercera. Sé que estábamos revisando el hospitalillo encontramos que había un pasadizo a un área de sótano que es una réplica exacta del piso de arriba, pero la tercera puerta está cerrada, no tiene cerrojo, no tiene manija, no hay forma de poder abrirla, tiene que abrirse electrónicamente, pero hasta el momento no hemos encontrado cómo poder abrirla. Así que vamos a chequear el área otra vez. There is a reception booth in the middle of the floor as upstairs, and there are 3 doors of the hallway. The floor is being polished quite meticulously. Ya esa palabra siempre se me hace difícil pronunciarla. Nothing like upstairs at all. Reception desk. The monitors are control consoles, and control consoles also appear well cared for. The monitors are switched off, but the AC power lamps are still lit. Switches. There are 2 switches. There are 3 doors. Tenemos 3 puertas, pero tan solo 2 switches. The only 2 buttons. Maybe it can be opened using those 2 buttons. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. They are the same as those on the first floor. Okay. Talk. If there was on one, if there was one in the operating room, there are bound to be others. You never know. They could be hiding anywhere around here. I don't know for a supposed hideout. There aren't very many of them. Gillian, please be more quiet. They'll hear us. Investigate. Alright, switches. There are only 2 buttons here. Use switches. Mira, ahora es que mira qué maldito. Aquel día. Mira cómo son las cosas. Mira cómo es. ¿Qué cojones? Aquella vez que estuvimos jugando, estuvimos dale que es tarde, dándole a todas las opciones. Yo le di a todas las opciones que era lo que iba a hacer ahora, ir opción por opción otra vez, a ver qué sucedía, ¿sabes? Y la otra vez fuimos opción por opción, y no sucedía nada. Y ahora me dice utilizar el switch 1 y 2 al mismo tiempo. Esa opción no me la dio la última vez. Tú.
All right. Let's try pushing both buttons simultaneously.
Vamos a proseguir.
The 2 buttons are on opposite panels, so there's no way one person can push them both alone. But if 2 of us work together, it might do it.
That's it, Gillian. It makes perfect sense. It's the same system they used to use in nuclear missile silos in the late 20th century. Eliminates the risk of one man going nuts and acting alone.
Well, it's hard to be sure, but let's give it a try anyway. I've got button 1. Random, you push number 2. You ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Come on!
Wow. ¡Qué emoción!
You did it. Door number 3 opened.
With safety measures like that, they must have had a good reason for wanting to keep it closed.
¿Verdad que sí? Damn, este jueguito es bien deceiving. Door number 3. Adiós, era move. Era move. Mama me. Are you ready, Random? Let's have a look at the last room. Al fin podemos avanzar. Maldita sea. Caminando. Yeah. Resident Evil.
Good God!
I read 4 human skeletons in this room.
It's their morgue.
Perhaps victims of the Snatchers?
Well, it doesn't look like whoever put them here was too worried about making sure they would rest in peace.
No, it doesn't. These have got to be their victims.
This is probably where they hide the bodies of the originals they snatch from places like Outer Heaven.
They probably picked Outer Heaven because it gets a lot of VIP
Esa es la cuestión.
traffic.
Ellos
Plus, during masquerade time, they could work the place and still keep their identity
eliminan a esa
secret.
gente y toman su puesto.
Yeah, and the guy who set up the link between them and Outer Heaven was Freddy, that taxi driver. They must have gone after him not because of who he was, but what he did. After all, with a taxi, there's plenty of chances to milk your customers for information. That's probably how they learned about Outer Heaven and Plato's Cavern.
I've been wondering what they had done with the bodies.
El juego es bien
Want to
interesante.
hide a book? What better place than the library? Need to hide a body? How about the morgue?
And for them, keeping the bodies hidden is crucial. I mean, if somebody who's supposed to be dead is out walking the streets, it wouldn't be too hard to figure out that something screwy is going on.
That means that if we can figure out who these bodies were, then we just nailed 4 snatchers.
Okay, let's have a look then. They snatch people's skin. It appears to have been a proper morgue at the one time, but now is being used as little more than a closet. There is a ventilation duct on one of the rooms. One of the bodies is still decomposing. The other 3 are little more than skeletons. Ugh. There is a cover on the duct, but it has been weakened by oxidation. Around the room. There are a few droppings on the floor from mice who were no doubt feeding on the bodies. A number of different insect larvae have infested the body. It has been well preserved, to say the least, but is definitely a human body. The insects infesting the decomposing body can be divided into 8 large groups. Each of those groups work on the body for roughly 15 days, making a 8 per 15 day or 4 months cycle. Didn't know that. As such, an analysis of the variety, number, and size of the organism of the body allows a rather accurate estimation in which group is currently present. In other words, you can figure out how long the victims have been dead without analyzing the body itself, right? Oh, these particular body flies have laid eggs, and the maggots have grown into adult flies, so it has been less than 30 days since death. As for the other 3 bodies, 1 full cycle has been completed, so at least 4 months have passed. Coño. Cause of death. Can you determine the cause of death? The bodies are severely damaged. Such a determination will require more extensive facility than are available here. Identity. What about the identity of the victims? Hair, clothing, even teeth, anything that could be used to make identification is gone. Damn snatchers. They were careful to make sure the identities didn't get out. If we even had some teeth, we might be able to make an ID. What about these teeth here? They have been deliberately misaligned to prevent identification. Then I guess I will never be able to ID them. There is a way. What? How? We can perform a simulated reconstruction. Fortunately, the skulls of the victims are still intact. Reconstruction, huh? Good idea. Great idea. It is connected to an underground air circulation system. It may even lead into the tube line as well. Dame chequear la identity. Ah, me va a decir lo mismo que yo creo. Smell. Ugh. What a horrible smell. Sorry. Metal. Let's do this reconstruction thing on the bodies.
Now performing simulated reconstruction of the head and facial features of each of the 4 victims. Commencing with victim number 1. Now performing craniometric analysis. X-ray and sagittal X-ray.
Esa es como cuando cogen el cráneo y tienen a esta artista utilizando clay para reconstruir la cara y ver por los features que tiene cómo se supone que es la cara de la persona.
Or absence of cranial fontanelles and chroma of epicranial sutures. 2. Area of facial region and cranium. 3. Height of upper and lower jaw and development of alveolar part. And 4. Location of cranial center of gravity. Next, victim sex. Estimate based on 1. Overall size of cranium. 2. Parietal bone angle. And 3. Development of splachocranium. Lastly, victim's race. Estimate based on 1. Overall cranial configuration. 2. Volume of intercranial cavity. And 3. Mass of the skull. Now commencing soft feature reconstruction based on averaged results of above analysis. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of first victim completed.
It's Freddie Nielsen.
Moving on to second victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 2. Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction.
De la esposa. Todos los que nos atacaron en el apartamento.
Victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of second victim completed.
That's Lisa Nielsen.
Moving on to third victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 3.
Y que este análisis saca el color de pelo también.
Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed.
El jefe.
Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of third victim completed.
No, este es
Who in
el
the
doctor.
world is that?
That's the director of Queen's Hospital. Fuuua, what's his face?
Chin Shu O.
Shinshi. Oh.
Moving on to last victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 4.
This one's the most recent. It's still decomposing.
Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing.
Yo creo que me va a enseñar el jefe
Initial phase
de los
completed.
Junkers.
Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features.
¿Ese es él? ¿Lo ve?
Reconstruction of head of final victim completed.
El jefe.
It's the chief!
What?
The chief is a snatcher! The Benson on the scrap of that patient record was Benson Cunningham.
Judging from the condition of the body, I would estimate that the snatching took place approximately 1 month ago.
So it was the chief who sabotaged our turbo cycle. And those matches we found in Harry's room, the chief must have put them there to try to set him up.
No doubt Harry figured it out and decided to leave that face-to-face message. Wait a minute. Didn't Mika say that Harry had left to go find the chief?
That's right. He was probably trying to track down some evidence on the chief.
Gillian, I'd say that this Harry has put himself in a pretty dangerous spot.
If it was the chief that sabotaged the turbo cycle, doesn't that mean that he already knows we're onto him?
Damn! Harry and Mika are in danger!
Damn.
That's far enough, Junker. Your little investigation is over.
Oh,
It's
shit.
them!
Who? Snatchers?
Get them!
Oh. Exacto. Oh fuck.
My arm! I can't reach my blaster!
I'm hitting the leg.
Is that the best you can do, Junker?
Who's there?
Chin Shuo, you scum!
It seems you still have some fight left in you. You two are
Los dos
finished.
de atrás no tienen
But our
cuerpo.
plans move forward. We are now entering phase 2. And when we do, not only this city, but the entire world will be ours to command.
Phase 2? What are you talking about?
As you know, our operations have been hindered up to now by the flaws in our artificial skin. The skin's shortcomings have kept us away from ultraviolet rays, forcing us to do our work at night, underground, or in the winter. In the end, we had to construct a hospital like this.
El grito de la
all
mujer es
because
parte de la
of the flaws
música.
in
No
our
es que haya alguien
artificial
atacándola.
skin. This was the only difference between us and you humans. But now we have broken this barrier.
Huh?
We are on the verge of developing a perfect artificial skin.
Como que mucha explicación,
Thanks to
¿verdad?
the cooperation of a new partner in our plan.
Perfect artificial skin? A new partner?
Once we have the new skin, nothing will be able to stop us. And with that, our plan moves to phase 2. Our little experiment in this city will end, and we'll move in force to take over the world.
Don't be so sure. You won't get out of the city that easy.
You humans are always so overconfident, so naive.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're aware that the Kyoto Summit, being held to decide how to handle the Snatcher problem, opens tomorrow.
Metal, is that right?
Yes.
Que
Countries
iban a
around the
coger
world are
a
concerned
los
about the
líderes de
snatcher
cada
problem.
país.
It will be
Lo-
one of the
lo-
main
lo van a
topics
cambiar.
discussed at this year's summit.
That's right. Tomorrow, we attack the summit.
You must be crazy. The security there will be incredible. You won't even get close.
Must I explain everything to you, Junker? Aren't you even aware that a fellow Junker will be giving a special presentation at the summit?
Oh shit.
The chief, Cunningham. So that's why you snatched him.
We've known that your chief would be speaking at the summit for over 3 months now.
Gillian, the summit is tomorrow. We have to hurry.
Listen, we have your chief. You Junkers are at our mercy, and so is this city. And tomorrow, we move on the world.
Ay, ¿cómo vamos a escapar de aquí? Porque este tiene la pierna jodida.
Nothing can stop us now. We will finally achieve our long-awaited goal of global domination.
Who is this we you keep talking about?
We are an evolved life form, given life in the depths of the Kremlin by our creator, Modnar. We are a new race.
Modnar?
Modnar? The Kremlin? Those names are familiar, but...
Our goal is to snatch all of the world's leaders and then achieve total control of human thought and worldwide racial unification.
You're insane. Humanity won't be so easily dominated. You underestimate the strength of the human spirit.
I think not. In the same way as the Nazis, our strategy begins with the overpowering of the spirit of the people. We will strike at you humans' weakest point, the most primitive part of your psychological makeup, your suspiciousness and fear. By provoking suspicion and mistrust throughout the populace, we will destroy that fragile fabric which holds your society together, that of trust. Fear is you humans' weak point. It is the primitive part of your brains that binds you forever to your animal ancestors and makes you vulnerable. By stimulating that part of your atavistic instincts, our plan can succeed magnificently.
Gillian, at this rate they'll kill us all. You've got to get out alive. You're a junker.
Just what do you have in mind?
Ella le da todo el tiempo de poder hablar esto bien bajito, teniendo el tipo parado al frente de ellos con 4 Terminators.
We're better off fighting together.
Hey, it won't work. I'm hitting the thigh. Ow, oh, damn. A bounty hunter can't do anything with a leg wound like this. I might as well have been shot in the head.
There must be some way out of here.
Hey, I wasn't doing this job just for fun. I stayed ready for situations like this. I've always been prepared to go out with a bang.
It's December. A little late for fireworks.
So it'll be an off-season show.
No, I can't let you.
My belt's packed with TNT-PX. You know, that really strong stuff they use in the mines on Mars. One push, and this whole hospital will go. No trouble at all. No time to sit around thinking, Junker boy. Go!
Parece a Nicolas Cage, right?
What are you doing? Get your butt moving, you fool! Get out through this air shaft. I've got a powerful strobe on me. Its flash will screw up their sensors long enough for you to get out. Now, you with me? Fireworks are better from a distance anyway, Gillian.
Are you two finished chatting? Then I think it's time for you to die. We're quite busy, you know.
You ready? When I give the signal, break into the air shaft and run, and don't forget your blaster.
Metal, stay with me.
Yes, sir.
Random.
Gillian. Doesn't look like I'm gonna have a chance to call in that debt you owe me.
Don't worry. I'll pay it back to the Snatchers with interest.
All right, go! Run, Gillian!
Se jodieron, hombre.
Metal, are you okay?
Metal.
I'm alien. I think.
Metal, something broken?
but it appears that language circuits have been damaged somewhat.
What happened?
Random blew himself up after getting us into this air shaft.
Random.
Gillian, that explosion should have taken all of Queen's Hospital with it.
The thick walls of this duct must have shielded us from enough of the blast. If it wasn't for Random, we wouldn't have made it. Oh, Random.
Who's that?
Gillian, we have no time for grief now. We must get back to Junker headquarters as
Apenas
quickly as
la
possible.
acabamos de conocer y ya
Harry
se
and Nick are in
murieron.
danger.
You're right. And I have to keep my promise to Random. But first, we have to figure out how to get out of here.
I can't see a thing. What
¿Prende la
should we
luz?
do?
Metal? Turn your light on, will ya? I was waiting for you to ask. Let there be light. Well, let's try moving forward. There could be snatchers waiting for us. Please use extreme caution. How far does this thing go? Bastante lejos porque no te has movido. Gillian, are you sure that this thing has an exit? There's some kind of scratches here. Scratches? Check them out. It looks like it continues for some distance. These scratches has caused by the scraping of a very hard claw-like object of some kind. A snatcher? Maybe they were using this as some kind of shortcut or back route. It is constructed quite well. There are signs that the construction to reinforce it has been carried out. What's this? There's some sand spill here. How did this get here? Metal, are you picking up any movement? I'm afraid the shock of that explosion has damaged my motion detector. So it is working or not? I'm getting partial readings, but they are not as sensitive as they should be. If we get attacked by a narrow area like this, we had. Please pray for us, Gillian. We got to make it out of here. Un robot pidiendo que reces por él. Damn, so I have to depend on my own eyes and ears, do I? Listen. I can hear some sound of water flowing. They must be close to a way out of this thing. Move. We can go back the way locked by debris. Pero ¿por qué no me da forward? We can probably keep moving forward, but it has likely to be a dead end. Buried alive, eh? Great. Check really carefully. There's gotta be a way out of somewhere. No me da. Look for no. There is probably a sewer or something nearby. Eso es lo que quiero, que se mueva hacia el frente. For an air duct, the quantity of dust is quite low. So this means that this thing is used regularly, right? Yes. There is certainly no reason why anyone will ever deliberately clean a duct like this. Chew. Uh-oh. Snatcher. Is no 9. Alright, I will gather and analyze the sample of the air here. Gillian, the results are as I thought or have expected. Though the concentration is thin, there is definitely Snow 9 present. Snow 9, huh? It is okay to breathe it. You will be safe at these concentrations. The farther we go, the higher the concentration. It must be coming from that direction. Okay. Both right and left side walls of the duct has scratches on them, as if something hard has pumped into them. It's from a snatcher when they move through this duct, I bet. It looks like it continued for some distance. I can hear water. It can be a dead end. Reinforcing bars formed of a level 4 hardness steel alloy have been installed. It is quite strong. And that's what will save us. I guess we should thank them, huh? It seems that this is not just a simple air duct. The lower surface is constructed on a reinforced concrete. This does not seem to be just an ordinary air duct. It looks like a snatcher has been using it to move around. With these scratches on the presence of Snow 9, I'll say it is definite. I'm sure I don't want to meet up with any of them in a tight space like this. Alright, just in case. Sigue diciéndome lo mismo. Alright, now I analyze this sand. Iron particles have high quantities of phosphorus. This type of sand is particularly to the M district in New Kobe. The M district, huh? Around the old factory, right? What's that mean? It is quite unusual that a particular sand will be present here. It was no doubt brought here by someone. It appears that a snatcher was dragged through here. A human body will not cause such marks. Manu! Esto es un juego de Kojima. Yes! Snatcher. Estamos jugando Snatcher, un juego de Kojima, Papa Kojima. Bien parecido a lo que es Blade Runner. ¿Cómo están todos por allá? Maybe that naked snatcher we saw in the operating room. that would probably be correct. And in the structure before the artificial ski was installed, them most likely. Porque me dice lo mismo. Eso me dice lo mismo de ahorita. The scissors are not showing anything. Porque iba a decir que copiete que se llame Metal Gear. Sí, no. No, hay una parte del juego donde vamos a un restaurante que hay que utilizar una careta para poder entrar, porque la gente no deja que te vean la cara. Y la gente que sale en este restaurante, las caretas que tienen son de personajes de juegos de Konami. Habían de Contra, Castlevania, Rocket Knight Adventure, Goemon, de Mystical Ninja. Había hasta un chino del juego de Lethal Enforcers de Konami. Y obviamente el robocito se llama Metal Gear. Y había otro, y el jefe del personaje que estamos utilizando, de Gideon, que acabamos de descubrir que está muerto y fue intercambiado por un Snatcher. O sea que con el que hemos estado hablando durante todo el juego es un Snatcher, es uno de esos robots que tienen la piel humana esa. Pero el verdadero, él perteneció a Foxhound, y todos sabemos aquí que Foxhound es de Metal Gear, así que ahí hay otra referencia más. Todo bien. Y ustedes, pues, hermano, aquí más bien, ¿cómo la pasaron ayer? Ayer yo iba a subir a hacer stream, pero para un bledo, porque con lo de la luz, pues para allá se le fueron la luz ustedes también. Pues yo sé que se fueron varias áreas de la isla. Ok, pero ¿cómo yo hago que... advance, ahora me dice advance. Alright, continuing forward. Jeez, this thing just keeps going and going. Oh, movimiento. Insectors. Saca la pistola. Shit. En medio. A veces le doy para abajo y coge para el lado el control. ¡Para! ¡Shit! Me mataron. La primera vez que me matan. No, para allá no se fue la luz. Mira, la primera vez que me matan, mano. La primera vez que me matan. A veces le doy a la palanca para abajo y lo que hace es que me coge para el lado y fallo el tiro. Y yo, damn it. Aquí vamos otra vez. La pistola, sácala. Para, coño, espera. Adiós, mira, me guardó la pistola y idiota Me volvieron a matar. ¡No! ¡Moche! ¡Estás de party, Moche se acaba de retirar. El viejito se acaba de retirar. Tienes que cargar, dale un break. ¡Es un juego! ¿Por qué carga rápido? Mira eso, le disparé. Pero dale. Ah, no. me cago en la mierda. Love that old school vibe. Chico, me encojona porque a veces le doy para una dirección y entonces el control como es bien suelto. Estos controles que sacaron para el Sega Genesis Mini son tan sueltos que a veces yo le doy para abajo y lo que hace es que se va para el lado. Y yo, ¡sala madre, para abajo! ¡Dispara, coño, que espera! Mira, le disparé y no lo mató. Carajo, al fin. I'm no longer reading any motion. Phew, that really built a lot of those things, don't they? That was a close one, wasn't it, Gillian? Yeah. 4 hits, much worse, and it would have been sane walking through the pearly gates by now. Those insectors must be the security for this area, which means that this is the end of the duct. I'm not reading any motion. Let's move on. Don't want to meet up with any more of those spiders. Look, a way out. We're safe, Gillian. Metal, don't let your guard down. Sabe caminar de ellos. Oh, where are we?
What in the world?
This is part of the tube liner, the city's long-abandoned subway system.
You mean Queen's Hospital and this were connected?
Yes, it would appear that the Snatchers were using this to move from place to place. This would provide them with the perfect way to move about while still avoiding the ultraviolet rays they hate so much. We should have realized this sooner. The city is crisscrossed by the tube liner's old lines, and since they are abandoned, the Snatchers could move undetected as well.
Aha! That's how those two we caught a glimpse of at the abandoned factory where Gibson was killed were able to disappear so quickly. They must have used this subway.
That would appear to be correct. The tube liner passes underneath that factory site as well. That would also explain why sand from the factory was in the air duct at the hospital.
So this is the trick they were using to stay out of the sun and avoid being seen while they moved around.
Now we know why it took so long to uncover them.
All right, let's follow the subway. We should be able to get out when we get to the nearest station.
Vaya, el primer de esto animado del juego que desde que empezó el juego, el opening no veía movimiento. How far does this bloody thing go? We are probably lost. I wonder where we are. Metal, can you see what's up ahead? It appears that the tunnel continues as far as I can see. Okay, I'm back. Where were you? Where were you, huh? You're supposed to be here. Damn it. Behind. That's the buttocks. That's the area we just passed through. I see nothing out of the ordinary. The only sound is our own footsteps. Metal, how much further do we have to go to reach the next station? Since I don't know what our exact present location is, I cannot give you any accurate figure. This part of the system didn't have any have very many stations. We'll probably have to walk quite a bit further. What part of the city is this? I believe we are probably underneath the MR district. Hey, Metal. Yes, Gillian? Nothing, just wanted to make sure you were awake. The tunnel seems to go on for some distance. Metal, can you hear any any trains approaching? What are you saying, Gillian? The tube liner system has been abandoned for years. Gillian, what's wrong?
Look, Metal, light!
Yes, but this doesn't look like a station.
Da-da-da-da.
There's a ladder.
Where do you suppose it leads, Gillian?
Afuera.
I don't have the slightest, but let's climb it and see.
All right, now climbing the ladder.
Preparing to climb. Oh, mira dónde
We
es.
seem to have emerged into an odd place. Wait.
El apartamento del matrimonio aquel que era unos snatchers.
It's Freddie Nielsen's
Encontramos los cuerpos
bathroom.
de la gente original.
He was using this
Ellos
shaft from the
matan
bathtub to get
al
down into the
original
subway.
y los copian.
So that's how he did that.
Ah, yes. As I recall, after you disposed of Lisa, he somehow entered the apartment without using the regular entrance.
Which he accomplished by using this secret passage into his
Okay.
bathtub.
The bathtub must be of a double construction. The bottom is actually a lid. When they wanted to hide the passage,
En serio, tienen
all
que
they
darle
needed to
toda
do
esta
was fill the
explicación.
tub.
Eso
And
es
to get in and
obvio.
out, they would just drain the water into another tank.
Jeez. Double bottom bathtubs? Abandoned subways? Snatchers really go out of their way to stay out of the sun.
Okay, Gillian, let's head outside.
Before that, don't you want to take a look to the map? Me dijo que quería salir, pero it is a late 20th century map. Moscow, huh? Shinsho-o. Over at Queen Hospital had a picture of St. Basil's Cathedral. The chief keeps a picture of the Red Square hidden. How come everybody is such a big Moscow fan these days? What's going on here? Moscow seems to hold some clue to this whole thing, doesn't it? Moscow. Did that guy say something about it? Yeah, the Kremlin. He said something about the Kremlin. Before the explosion, didn't Shinsho-o say something about achieving what was meant to be 50 years ago? And the depths of the Kremlin? Now that you mention it, this map is from exactly that area, isn't it? Moscow, 55 years ago. The key to understanding the Snatchers no doubt lies there. This has to have some meaning. I don't think that they pass a 50-year-old map up for just a decoration. It is a large-scale map of Moscow. That's how I save another map. Tape? You mean this laser beam, right? Don't break the beam, Gillian. You have people from headquarters all over the place. It is a security sensor, you know. I see. Gotta make sure nobody messes with this evidence after all. Yeah. Jeez. It feels like I'm breaking into a place or something. Mijo, firmé eso y sentí un alivio al instante. No me imagino, mano. Me imagino. Pero tiene que ser fuerte también, no te creas. We are outside of Nielsen's apartment. Thank God. Now let's go back to headquarters. Walking back will take far too long. We have to find some other way. Aren't there any taxis or anything around here? Why don't we search for the area? A verdad que el carro de él, el Super Cycle, el jefe lo saboteó y chocamos. We are quite away from Queen's Hospital. It's very quiet here. Look, there's a taxi over there. It is a man taxi. The driver is behind the wheel. No me deja entrar todavía. He's parked illegally in front of the house. Perhaps he's waiting for a customer. The cab is for hire. Shall we board it? Yes. Ride the taxi. Alright. Let's board the taxi. Shinobu, pasó papo. Mira, llegaste a ver el mensaje que te envié. Te envié un mensaje por aquí, un whisper. Te envié un whisper. Un susurro, te envié un susurro. Hoy pasé por Walmart y vi que te había dicho que en el Walmart de Santurce todavía tienen los Genesis. Sí, están allí. Hay 5, quedan 5. Así que si quieres darte la vuelta, ya sabes a dónde tienes que ir. Driver. Where to, sir? This is a man cab. I can take you to anywhere you want to go. Let's look first inside the car. The car has been modified to operate on manual only. Hey, this is a black taxi. You know, don't be so nosy, okay? His face is concealed. Polarizing film has been placed on the rear view mirror. Come on! You know the spoken rule, the drivers and the passengers of the black taxi aren't supposed to interfere with each other's business, you know? We are on urgent business. Get us to the Junker headquarters as quickly as you can. Junker headquarters, eh? What would you want to go there for? Something going down? Yeah, but how nosy is this guy? Yo estaba con dolor de piedra desde... Ah, verdad, que tú me habías dicho eso. Pero todavía está con el dolor, hermano. No está bajado todavía. We are in a hurry. Is that some kind of a joke, sir? You can't be serious. This is a man taxi, you know. I can go to places like that. Metal, I think we picked a weird taxi. Listen, I'm a junker. Take me to the Junker headquarters and do it quickly. I'm afraid not. You are going somewhere else. You want to know where that is? Oh, este pendejo me va a pelear. Se me bajó, ahora tengo inflamación de los ojos por alguna reacción rara. Damn, man. Coño. Where? Straight to hell. Oh, shit. La pistola. Shisha, wow. Muerto. Le di rápido.
Is he dead?
He's
junk now.
Stubborn one, wasn't he?
Jeez. He made it through that explosion and was waiting for us out here. If those things ever get control of the city, there's no way we'll ever get it back. We've got to stop them before that.
And to do that, we have to prevent the chief from getting to the Kyoto summit.
I know. And I have to pay back my debt to Random.
Let's use this taxi to get back to Junker headquarters.
I planned on it. I just hope Mika and Harry
No
are
sabía
safe.
que el juego tiene voz. Sí, tiene voice acting. Y bien bueno que es. Bien bueno que es el voice acting de este juego. We have arrived at Junker headquarters. I certainly hope Mika and Harry are safe. Alright, the Metal. This is it. The final showdown. Are we ready? Let's go. Now entering headquarters. Tiene... uh-oh. This is the lobby. Front desk está cerrado. What? The shutters on the reception booth is closed. Let's look first. It appears that something attacked this place. The shutters under the reception booth is closed. So where did Mika go? This is a protective shutter for the reception booth. It is automatically lowered in times of danger. The emergency light is flashing on the door check panel. So headquarters has been put on emergency status. Ya leí todo esto. Investigate. There are a few holes in the shield, no doubt caused by blast or cannon fire. Cannon? This is a snatcher who did this. The surface of the shutters show evidence of having been struck by fire from an energy weapon. Tenemos snatchers. I read motion. Something is in the booth. No, Mika. Tiene que ser Mika. Tiene que ser Mika. Killian, we have to open this somehow. Its function is it is protective shield, so there is no way to see inside the booth when it is like this. The only switch to release the lock on the main door is in the reception booth. No. It's been locked from the inside. The only way to open it is from the inside of the booth. So how do I get inside the booth? Okay, booth. Now we have the option. Can this be opened from the outside? If it has an emergency internal connection port, then it can be opened from the outside. Okay, let's investigate that piece of shit. Metal, find the external connection jack. Here we are. I have loaded an emergency external connection port on the side of the booth. With this, I will be able to open the shutter. Open the shutter. Now plugging into with an emergency external connection port. Releasing lock mechanism. Now opening the shutters.
Alright, I'm going to open it, but please use extreme caution. Anything could be inside.
Mika, tiene que ser Mika. Oh shit. She's okay? Ella es color carne y él es un Simpson.
Are you alright? Metal, how is she?
Her pulse is normal. The only external injuries are to her forehead, and they are not serious. There's been no significant blood loss.
Mika, come on, snap out of it. It's me,
Levántate.
Gillian.
Levántate, coño.
Gillian? Gillian?
Mika, what happened?
Gillian, the chief.
Exactamente.
The
Haciendo
chief is a
película.
snatcher.
So he's
Él es un
finally
director
shown his true
frustrado.
colors.
Harry,
Igual que yo.
Harry's...
What's happened to Harry?
Harry put me in the pod and sealed the main door. He locked the Snatcher in.
That was smart. Not even a snatcher can get through this shield.
So where's Harry?
He said keep the door sealed no matter what happens in there. And then he went in. Gillian, please help him.
Harry! Mika, open the door. I'm going in. Metal, we're going in. Be careful. That snatcher could be hiding anywhere.
Vamos para
Yes,
adentro.
sir.
Gillian, please be careful. The chief is very cunning. Don't let your guard down.
Don't worry. I'll watch myself in there.
Vamos para adentro, vamos a pelear, vamos a pelear. Ya mismo voy a sacar la pistola. Ya mismo tenemos que sacar la pistola. Oh, damn, Harry. We are in the main hallway. What's this? Someone is down. That's Harry. Oh, shit.
Harry!
Oh. Oh, Gillian.
You're
Is that
so
you?
soft.
I'm getting old. Just look at me.
What happened?
What happened?
I saw the chief messing with your turbo cycle. And that weird picture in his office. Ah.
Metal, how is he?
He's gonna
Metal.
die.
I do not wish to say.
Really that bad, huh?
Gillian, when I confronted him about what I saw, he showed me what he really was. I was barely able to even scratch him.
That's enough, Harry. I understand. Metal, is there anything we can do for him?
Gillian, I'm sorry.
Harry,
Harry,
you'll be
don't
okay.
die.
Doesn't look like you're hurting too bad.
Se
This'll work out
murió.
perfect. You always
Todavía está
working too
vivo.
hard anyway.
Pero no
Why
se ha
don't you
muerto.
take a nice long vacation somewhere and rest up?
Yeah, sure. Nice try, Gillian, but it's my
Se me olvidó de
body.
qué película se inspiró para hacer este juego. Blade Runner. Prácticamente la misma historia.
Good, Gillian.
Harry!
I don't know how to say this right.
Hasta cierto punto, por supuesto.
But I've always had a special feeling about you. I've always had trouble talking to people since I was little, like my father. What I can
Pues era
remember of him.
demasiado fuerte, no aguanto que el pobre viejo.
Pulse and blood pressure falling.
Harry, hang in there.
Aguanta, Harry.
You and I were gonna
Aguanta,
go out and
métete el
tie
dedo
one
ahí.
on, remember?
Donde tener la herida para que no bote sangre.
Yeah, that's not a bad
O
idea.
utilizar el tape este
You,
gris,
me, and Jean, the three of us.
el tape metálico ese tape resuelve todo, tapa todo.
I've lived my life alone. I didn't know my parents or family.
Wait,
Always so
Wait.
stubborn,
Wait.
glued to my research.
se inspiró de Space Jam.
Never really trusted anybody. That was a mistake.
No, le vomitó la sangre.
Blood pressure continuing to fall.
Harry?
Harry,
After Jean died, I felt it. Human warmth, companionship.
I know what you mean.
Gillian, I just wanted to get along with everybody. I don't need no Nobel Prize. For 50 years, I've been searching, trying to find something I lost.
no encuentro las llaves de mi
Looks like
casa,
I'll
por eso es que
never
siempre estoy
find it
aquí.
now.
Gillian, he's about.
Looks like I've been talking too much. It's up to you now, Gillian. I'm finished. You won't forget this old grouch, will you?
Harry!
Harry, don't go. Mira los ojos de Gillian. Mira los ojos de
You've
Gillian.
got to believe in
Harry,
yourself.
don't go.
You're
Stay with us.
you're the last junker.
You are the last junker.
Harry!
When gone am I,
Harry!
the last of the junkers you will be.
Pupils
Pass on what you have learned.
Cunningham! No! Snatcher! I'll
There
get
is
you for
another.
this!
We have no time for grief.
Skywalker.
That
I know,
snatcher
wrong
is still
film.
hiding somewhere here in headquarters.
Memo, listen to me. If that snatcher gets me, you've got to take Mika and run. Then you've got to
Acá
blow up
muérete.
Joker headquarters. Blow it sky high.
Diablo, mano,
You
bro.
understand me?
Yes, sir.
Sensible.
Just hope it doesn't come to that.
Insensible, perdón.
So, where should we start our search?
No, porque lo que leí como un villager de Resident Mierda 4. ¡Se murió! Ahora sí se murió. Uy, cambió la música. Man. Se nos murió Harry. Oh, Harry. Oh my God, Harry. This is the chief office. There is no reading. My movement sensor isn't functioning properly. ¿Verdad? Como en las películas que se tarda para poder morir. Llevaba balbuceando la mitad del juego. Vomitó la sangre y todo. Y como... Todavía me faltan 3 páginas de diálogo para decir antes de morirme. Así que mete el dedo ahí, aguántalo para que la sangre no siga saliendo. Aguántala. ¿Qué? Un concho. No, ahorita dije del tape ese, del gris. Ese tape es milagroso, ese tape lo arregla todo. O sea, si a ti te coge una herida, te estás muriendo, ponte un tape de eso te va a aguantar. No necesitas inyección ni nada por el estilo. El tape te va a ayudar a mantenerte vivo. Mientras que no te lo quites, tú puedes seguir caminando. ¿Cómo es? The snatcher does not seem to be around. No, le el mismo botón. Search. Outside the window. What, in a place like this? I will check out now. Are you ready? Nothing unusual there. Under the sofa. Alright, now investigating. Sorry, nothing there. No te oigo. No, el que se parece. No. ¿Qué marca ese tape? ¿Qué marca ese tape? El duct tape. Duct tape ese gris. Under the desk. Alright, now investigating. What? Oh, I'm sorry, nothing there. Vuelve de esto. Where should we go? Detective room. Vamos a ir moviéndonos de cuarto en cuarto. Buscando el maldito jefe ese. There's a detective room. Look. The snatcher does not seem to be around. Search. Inside the locker. Alright. Now checking the locker. Sorry, nobody there. On the front desk. I will check it now. Are you ready? No snatcher there. Yo le estoy dando la opción para que no se quede nada. I will check out now. Are you ready? Sorry, nothing there. Motion. Any motion readings in this detective's room? I don't read any movement. We are the only ones in this area. Nos movemos de cuarto. Shooting range. The snatcher does not seem to be around. There's a good chance it's hiding in there somewhere. Alright, I'll check it out. Please be careful. No snatcher here. Alright, now investigating. No snatcher here. Nothing here. How about emotion in the shooting range? Reading anything? We are the only ones registering on the motion detector. Nobody here, so we move. Computer room. This is the computer room. I don't see the snatcher. Terminal shadow. Alright, I check it now. Please be careful. Oh, nothing here. Nothing here. Register any motion. We're in the computer room and metal. There is no reading. My movement sensor is functioning properly. Finding the snatcher is more and more important. Okay, just in case. Nothing here. Nada aquí. Oye, nosotros fuimos a Engineering Room. No, no habíamos llegado aquí. Como yo lo brinqué. The snatcher did not seem to be around. About the only place one could hide in this room is here, right? Alright, I'll check. Nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing tampoco. Pick up any motions, engineering metal? I don't read any movement. We are the only ones in this area. The ceiling fan is the only thing moving. Damn. ¿A dónde más podemos ir? There is some kind of stain on the desktop. Oh, se ve sangre cayendo. Se ve sangre cayendo. It is blood. Da-da-da-da. There is a pool of blood on the desktop. It appears the blood is dripping from the ceiling. No puedo mirar el ceiling. Ceiling. Ariel, ¿tú sabías algo? Yo sé muchas cosas. Pero que yo sepa lo que tú estás pensando, no sé. Eso sí que no lo sé. Why don't we investigate that ceiling? Mira el cabrón donde está. Cunningham. Mira, coño, me disparó rápido el cabrón. Oh, hay más movimiento.
Distance to motion readings increasing.
Is he trying to run?
Motion readings have vanished.
You got past me this time, Snatcher.
Headquarters emergency lighting has been activated.
Can we find him again?
We should go after him immediately.
We'll find him. We know he's somewhere inside headquarters.
The Snatcher has been wounded. We should look for
Exacto,
traces of
eso es lo que iba
blood.
a decir. A buscar ahora sangre. No se ve sangre aquí. No se ve sangre tampoco aquí, aunque todo está amarillo. Ay, aquí estuvimos. Nada de sangre. Tampoco. Sea la porra. Cogí lo que no era. ¿Cuándo es que llega la tormenta? Bueno, se supone hoy empezaba a llover. A partir del mediodía llovió fuerte, pero se fue. Creo que ¿a qué hora es que se supone que llegara la tormenta? Ajá.
Porque no le dieron ni nombre, lo que tiene es un número 9, número 9. Y lo que va a traer es el remanente de lo que son las bandas de lluvia fuerte y la ventolera. Pero ahora mismo creo que está lloviendo, pero no una intensidad como al mediodía. Pero supuestamente la traslación, como eso de las 2 de la tarde, estaba como a 50 millas por hora de al lado de Puerto Rico, no sé si se ha modificado. Se supone que ya saliendo del área suroeste, creo que era algo así, ya iba a estar a las 2 de la madrugada de mañana jueves, pero
Wait,
no sé
Mika's
si ha
not in
ido
the pod.
modificando, si se ha puesto más lento, porque como
What happened?
The lighting has been disconnected.
Shinobu dice que está en la casa, está lloviendo fuerte y con viento. Oh, espérate, que no puedo. Ahora sí que esto se está poniendo fuerte aquí.
I read motion. He is definitely in here.
Where are you? Show yourself.
Oh shit.
I'm right here. I don't need to run or hide from you.
Tarán.
Mika!
No, Gillian, don't move.
¿Cuánto nos vamos? Que la versión japonesa ya tiene el botón abierto y se le ve lo trasera. ¿Cuánto nos vamos?
Mika, why did you open the entrance?
I don't know. I was really scared. I mean, the emergency light's coming on so suddenly.
Seed, go ahead and shoot. But you'd better be a pretty good shot, or this kid goes home in a bag.
Shoot, Gillian. Kill this thing. Don't worry about me.
Mika!
What are you going to do?
I have you now, Junker.
Oh shit. Se cubre detrás de... Y esa la mató a ella, la mató. No me diga que la maté. Me encago en 10. O sea, me tengo que dejar dar, no le puedo darle. Cuando él está en ese punto no puedo darle, porque le estoy dando a ella. Jodienda. Y si le disparo en la cabeza la mato rápido, ¿verdad? Le doy ahí y la mato rápido, un solo tiro. Tengo que dejar dar porque no hay de otra. Está matando el desgraciado. No, voy a tener que darle, pero un solo tiro nada más entonces. Voy a tener que darle una sola vez. En vez de darle muchas veces a ella en la mano. Porque tengo que darle en la cabeza, porque la cabeza es donde ellos sufren. Ay, sea la madre, no me sal. Diablo. Tres tiros la matan a ella. 3 tiros la matan. Ok, las cadenas las tiene en la mano así, pero ella puede levantar la mano. ¿Por qué no la...? Ay, sea la madre, no sabe la pistola. Sorry, te exploté una mano. No le estabas
The
dando.
Snatcher's functions have been terminated.
No hay que darle la cabeza, ese es el
Are you all
problema.
right?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Sí,
Thank
estoy
you.
bien. Me faltan
Harry?
3 dedos de los tiros que
I
me
got
tiraste,
him.
pero...
Random? Sorry it took so long, but this ought to make us even.
Junker? You may have stopped me, but it's not over yet.
Gillian, this is just residual energy feedback. Its power levels are dropping rapidly.
Crane's hospital was nothing more than a
Ahora cuando
maintenance
muera hace.
facility. We have comrades operating throughout the city, more than you can imagine. Now our plans will move into phase 2. For that, we will enlist the help of Professor Lorraine. Your existence is meaningless as long as you don't get your memory back. Good luck, Junker.
Ahora que falta que Gideon sea un Junker también, porque él no recuerda nada. Él tuvo un accidente con la esposa en Rusia, en Moscú, y perdió la memoria.
Why? Please tell me. Why do so many good people have to die?
Mika.
This is all wrong.
Mika, don't worry. I won't let anybody else die. I've made a promise to Harry and Random. But the city is still full of snatchers. This fight is just beginning.
Me imagino que este es el final del segundo acto. Son tres actos. Y estamos en el segundo acto ahora mismo. ¿Aló?
Gillian, I have an urgent video call from Jamie.
Hello?
I'll connect you.
Ah, mira ahí. Está llorando.
Gillian, I've got my memory back. I
Recuerda
remember
todo.
everything.
Your memory? So what about us, Jamie? Who are we?
Gillian, it's terrible. What we've done.
Somos criminales.
What's wrong?
I can't tell you something like this over the video phone. I would have been better off never remembering.
Okay, Jamie, calm down. I'll head out right now. Where are you? Is it snowing?
I'm sorry,
Lo
Gillian.
ves, she's a
I can't
snatcher.
tell you. They've taken our
Ese
boy
es Snow
hostage.
9, lo que está
Our
cayendo.
boy? Who?
Professor Modner is here too.
Jamie, what are you talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Snatcher!
Gillian!
We have Professor Lorraine. We only
Sin
require
energía eléctrica que fuera de
for a
Puerto,
short period
que fuera de Puerto
here at
Rico.
the Kremlin. So for
Milagro,
now,
milagro.
I suggest you avoid doing anything foolish, Professor Seed.
Fin del acto 2. Y ahora vamos entrando al acto 3 y último acto del juego. Would you like to save at this point? Yeah, let's save. Vamos a grabar. Graba, gordo, graba. Save. Save. Milagro. Gracias a Dios, no ha jodido. Está todo bien.
With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center.
Edgar. Adiós, te toca trabajar de noche.
And the international opinion carried out just last week shows that the vast majority of respondents favor
Mira, le vamos a meter al juego ahorita.
Neo Kobe as a means to combat the risk of the Snatcher menace.
Now that the Chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they
Mira,
strip us of our Junker
Goodbye,
authorization.
volcano high.
They will be
Coño.
deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
Por lo visto a Moche le fascina el juego. Porque yo no me acordaba el nombre y él sí.
Snatchers are wiped out.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
That may not be as improbable as it seems. The world's leaders are
Vamos
extremely
a escuchar
concerned about
esto.
the Snatcher problem.
The Chief was going to calm this hysteria in his speech at the summit, but that'll never happen now.
3 months ago, government pressure on Junker operations increased dramatically.
Gillian's transfer here was really
Va a estar
our
toda la
last
madrugada.
chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's
No
not
te
too
quedes pegado.
surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
Yo le di priolio,
As
mira
far
que
as they're
vamos.
concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatchers' headquarters before then.
Gillian, can you do it?
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Señores, ¿cuántos aquí han recibido
Hitting
el
their
crédito de los
outposts like Queen's
$10 de
Hospital won't do any
PlayStation?
good. We have to find their main nerve center.
What about the memory of that snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Mental. What about
Kaku!
tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
¿Lo recibiste, Kaku?
It was no good. The call didn't last
¿En
long
serio?
enough. Still, it definitely did come from
¿Quién más lo
within the city.
recibió? Yo sé, Mocha lo recibió.
Where are
Kaku
they
por lo
hiding?
visto lo recibió. ¿Quién más lo recibió?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me.
Por las
Why
notificaciones
was
de
I sent to
PlayStation
Junker
4.
headquarters? Where
Por
did
lo
I
menos yo
come
sé que ahí
from?
le llegó a Moche.
Gillian,
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
well, you see...
Metal!
All right. With the chief gone, you are the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker
Okay.
near Moscow.
Esto es
Cryogenic
importante.
sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there. In addition, the third pod was empty at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived and taken into custody by the army. Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased. This is the only piece of
No
evidence
me
found at the site.
jodas.
That's Harry's picture, from when he was a kid.
No me jodas. ¿En serio?
That's correct. Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
What
Harry?
the fuck?
Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo, it was established that you are Gillian Seed and your wife, Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
In addition, both of you vanished without
Y
a
este
trace in
cabrón lo sabía y no
1989.
dijo nada hasta
There
ahora.
is no other information available about you after that.
1989.
Yes, you come from a world that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
That was a
17th
good
Special
plot
Investigative
twist.
Force was bringing the two of you out. There was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago?
Almost everyone who was in Moscow at the time was killed in the catastrophe.
So Gillian and Jamie are the only living witnesses?
Harry. Harry was my son. Did he know?
No, it was highly classified information. He was never told.
Fuck.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Eso
Wait a
jode.
minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right. Let's go over what we know about them.
Okay. I need a moment. Porque esto ha sido como que un hemorroide de cosas. Fuck. En serio, o sea, él estuvo congelado por 50 años, como quien dice. Y el hijo se le acaba de morir en sus brazos sin él saber que era el hijo de él. Fuck. Diablo, de verdad que la historia acaba de coger un giro bien cabrón. A mí me llegó Day One, jódanse, ciudadanos de segunda. Creo que voy a comprar el nuevo mapa de Ark. Compré el ciudadano de primera. Dile a Sony que me envíe los $10 para comprar Ark. Metaverse Pape, Koji y sus plot twists. Bien randomly cabrones. Ghost Boy, si lo compras, Moy y yo pensamos rentar un server soon. Esta gente tiene una pendeja con Ark del carajo. Pero por lo visto, de aquí todos como tal, los únicos que lo han recibido ha sido Metaverse. Kaku y Moche son los únicos dos que han recibido los $10. Así que se pueden en el mismísimo infierno. Desgraciados, sucios. Sony son los sucios. Ustedes son unos huevones que tuvieron suerte de que se la acaban de dar, puñeta. Siempre son los más mamones, son los que siempre le dan todo. Cojones, entonces el que se jode gastando, chavos, y trabajando y todo eso, siempre está jodido. ¿No? O sea, no me acaban de dar los chavos que son de desempleo. Pero entonces Sony tampoco me quiere dar los maricones 10 pesos. O sea, estoy cruzado. Nieta. Ciudadanos de primera. Huevo. Dame un briquecito, a lo que voy al baño, regreso rapidito. Ok. Yo me lo merezco después de 6 años en el Army. Veteran Benefits. Eso no tiene que ver nada con el Army, mamón. Un lechudo del carajo lo que tú vas a Ariel, si no te gusta Ark, le damos a Bloodborne. Tenemos tela para de dónde cortar. ¿Dónde es que uno banea aquí a la gente? ¿Cómo es que yo baneo aquí a la gente? Yo lo busco ahorita, Eso te pasa por cortar el theme gratis de los 10 años por criticar. Diablo, Ariel se lo cagó en ese theme bien cabrón. Mamones, y tú sabes que yo tengo el jodido theme puesto. El tema está puesto. Bueno, yo lo puse porque yo no sabía si ellos detectaban que yo lo tenía puesto o no, así que lo puse por si acaso, pero parece que se dieron cuenta. Mira, este mamón no tenía puesto ni lo acabo de poner ahora, no lo manden nada. Eso es lo que me estoy hueliendo. Es más, Néstor ni siquiera lo había bajado. Y me dijo, ¿cómo lo busco para ponerlo? A ver si me dan los 10 pesos. Bueno, vamos a continuar aquí. Ok, ¿qué? No, a los únicos que le han llegado es a Moche y a Caco. Son los únicos que le han llegado. Es como siempre, los mamones siempre le dan todo primero. Aunque yo también, porque fue una mierda. ¿Tú no lo habías bajado? ¿Tú no llegaste a bajar el tema? El tema está puesto. Yo quité el de Tsushima para poner ese, así que tengo que afeitarlo. Me está molestando los pelos estos ya. Ok, Metal Gear. First of all, what's the Snatcher weak point? La cabeza. Infrared rays, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, sun rays, cold, ultraviolet. This is the Snatcher's weak point? That's correct. Their weak point is their defective artificial skin. Long-term exposure to ultraviolet rays cause mutations on the melanocytes in the stratum basal of their skin, which become cancerous. Specifically, long ultraviolet rays in the 250 to 350 nanometers range is responsible for causing the cancer. That's right, and that is the reason they are so limited as to when they can be out. Nos llegó a Metaverse y a mí porque somos hombres de servicio. Servicialmente mi pendejo, mamones. No, te estoy jodiendo, Es verdad, pero estoy jodiendo. Gideon, they only come out at night in the middle of the winter and wear sunscreen even then. Mika, I cannot do women's voice, so that's the method of John used to figure out what the Snatchers were up to. How ironic. It turns out that the destruction of the ozone layer actually has benefits for us humans. That's right. Now, what method were they using to move and be able to avoid ultraviolet rays and the sunlight at the same time? Underpants, highway, turbocycle, black city. Shit. Ya no, le puse el que no era. Black taxis. Underpass. An underpass? Is that el de esto? This is the method of movement. That's correct. They were using the abandoned tunnels of the old turboline system to get from place to place. That's how they were able to move around without being noticed. Nielsen's apartment, the old factory, Queen's Hospital, all their hideouts were connected by the triple liner. So maybe there is a tunnel under the main base as well. There's a good chance of that. Next, what phenomenon was always observed as the location at any location where the Snatchers appear, including the underground tunnels? Sneeze. That's right, sneezing, because of Snow 9. This is the reason for the sneezing. You're correct. The sneezing was caused by the presence of allergen Snow 9. Snow 9 is an artificial form of pollen developed by the military, and its presence is limited to certain regions. They were using the interfere with radio transmissions and keep people away. They probably were producing it intentionally themselves. The only regions of the city where Snow 9 is still present are areas around the Ina River. It has been cleared out of the areas because of the danger it presents. So that means that their base must be somewhere near the Ina River, right? This is a fair conclusion. They are probably somewhere near the Ina River, protected by the Snow 9. Accessible to the tube liner and near the Ina River. And we must not forget that the 3 photographs that were found the Snatcher with, all of them were related to the Soviet Union before the catastrophe. The map on the wall of Nielsen's apartment. The picture of the temple in the director's office in Queen's Hospital. The photo of the red square hidden in the chief's office. Why do the Snatchers keep pictures of memorabilia like this? Maybe they were homesick, I don't know. That's where they come from. Homesick? Get serious, Mika. They're robots, you know. Let's analyze a little closer. The city is related to all 3 of these pictures. This is the city we have in common. That's correct. It's Moscow. Moscow must be where they come from. That must be a basis of their programming. You might be right. Just people who have a hometown that is dear to them. Their creators may have put a hometown to their programming. They use very advanced artificial intelligence systems, so they may have needed something like that to maintain their emotional balance. Yeah, they were born out of nothing, but they need to give them some kind of image as an emotional base. So Moscow is their creator and their home. Go ahead. And the place that they found Jamie and I.
In other words, this homing instinct thing of theirs has led them to set up their headquarters in some place that reminds them of home, or their creator.
What part of this city is like Moscow?
Snow 9 place?
Moscow's really cold, right? They get a lot of snow, don't they?
Snow?
No snow has been recorded in Neo-Kobe in several years.
Well, then that's not it.
Wait, what about that pollen? That crystal bioengineered stuff, Snow 9?
Now that you mention it, wasn't it snowing on Jamie's video phone call?
That's right. Their hideout has to be somewhere close to the Ina River.
The Ina River flows for miles around here, Gillian. We could never search it all in time.
Gillian, let's look at a map of the areas investigated so far. This is an enlarged view of the southwest portion of the city around the Ina River. This blue area is that in which Snow 9 is present. Now I'll superimpose a chart of the abandoned tube liner tunnels. From this we can establish those areas with Snow 9, which are accessible by subway tunnel.
Damn. Nice try, but it's still too large. We could never cover it in 3 hours.
Don't give up so fast, Gillian. What about that image of home thing we were talking about? Maybe there's some kind of geographic similarity. Maybe the same view can be seen or something.
I'll display a map of Moscow alongside.
What's this?
Look, the rivers are exactly the same shape.
This is the Moscow River over here.
It looks like we're on the right track, Metal. Show us the location that Jamie and I were picked up from.
All right, right here.
Metal, before the catastrophe, what was at this location?
The headquarters for the entire Soviet Union, the Kremlin.
Yeah.
The Kremlin? That Snatcher said something about taking Jamie to their Kremlin.
Metal, what spot in Neo Kobe would match up with the location of Moscow's Kremlin?
Calculating. This is the spot. It's presently occupied by an old church. It's rather large, but reports indicate it's been abandoned for nearly 20 years.
And it's right in the middle of the Snow 9 and subway area.
That's it! That's their headquarters, their new Kremlin.
Elementary, my
Gillian,
good
let's
friend.
go!
Wait, Gillian.
I want to go with you.
Sorry, Mika.
Hey, I'm a junker too, you know.
I know, and you're a great one at that.
So take me with you then.
You head to the summit to warn the delegates. They haven't given up, you know.
The summit's in Kyoto. I'm not going to be the only one to run.
You've got to convince them not to use nukes on Neo Kobe.
We found their hideout. There's no need now to sink the whole island.
Yes, but...
It's a tough job. Can you do it?
Okay, Gillian.
Just
I'll
do
what
what
I
you're
can.
told. All about.
Thanks. Thank you, Mika.
Don't say it, okay?
Let's go, Gillian.
Gillian?
Yes?
Be careful.
What's wrong?
How about dinner sometime?
Dinner?
Yeah, you know, dinner.
Mika?
Not interested. I thought it would be nice, you know, to kick back, relax. It's Christmas after all.
Christmas, huh? I'll be back by then.
Gillian, we have to hurry.
That's a promise, right? I heard you.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the place or the
But
time.
I gotta go to
for
church
that kind of
first.
talk.
I'll see you soon then.
Okay, Metal, let's go.
We are in a mission. This is the last turbo cycle. Alright, now boarding the turbo cycle. The church. Up a la iglesia.
I've input the map data on the Kremlin's locations. Lift off. Flight configuration, now gaining altitude.
Jamie, please be safe.
Gillian, please keep in mind that
El
we're
tipo es
working
un
with a strict
gigolo.
time
O sea,
limit.
tiene a la mujer, más a Mika también por el lado, más la hija del Junker que murió al principio del juego.
Snow!
Snow 9, to be specific. We've entered the Snow 9 region. Please put on your breathing filter. Direct inhalation is dangerous.
All right.
Radio transmissions will also be impossible from this point on. Understood? Now descending. Conversion to hover configuration complete. Gillian, we've arrived.
Okay. Aquí está la iglesia. Wow, now I know they call it their Kremlin. It's a very old church. It bears quite a resemblance to the Basel Cathedral. No doubt they thought the same thing. It appears that to be snow, but it is actually Snow 9. Try to avoid inhaling any of it directly. It is surrounded by a large grove of tall cedar trees. This is likely to keep just about anybody away. Given the season, a few Christmas lights will really light up the scene. Stupid. The building is about 50 years old, but appears very well maintained. So, where's the entrance? On the front side of the building. This is definitely Snow 9. Okay. A search scan revealed that a turboliner tunnel passes directly underneath this area. Well, that's no surprise. Looks like we got the right place. I'm not picking any large movement signals. The only sound that is of the wind. Let's go in.
All right, now opening the door.
What's wrong? Won't open?
I've scanned it, and it's not locked. It is probably rusted into place.
Not surprising. After all, our friends always go in and out through the basement.
Let's push it together.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
¿No abrió? Ahora.
That got it.
What's this? It will appear to be some kind of chapel of the Snatchers. Are you telling me those things pray? To whom? No doubt to their creator. The portrait of the walls is probably a representation of him. ¿Cuándo nos vamos a que ellos dos son los creadores? Look, portrait. This person is no doubt the one the Snatchers worship as their creator. O sería el tercer tipo que salió bueno, a lo mejor era el hijo, ¿verdad? Era el hijo el que faltaba. This guy isn't that random. One moment. I'll compare the pictures with data on random. ¿En serio? While the facial bone structure of the individual in the portrait is nearly identical to that of random, I have positive identification it is possible, as the picture is not a photograph. That just looked too much like him to be a coincidence. These are the chairs for the worshippers in the chapel, no doubt. Everything is nice and orderly. It is the pre-collapsed Soviet Union has been recreated here. Something is written on the painting. The creator, Motnar. So this is Professor Motnar, the one the Snatcher has talking about, huh? It appears to be a portrait of that person. There are a number of scratches on the surface. They were almost certainly caused by the Snatchers. It is all very organized, almost inhumanly so. There is another room further back. I'm not picking any large movement. So have I already left for the summit? is perfectly quiet. Continue to the back. Now moving into the back room. Whoa, fábrica de snatchers. Snatchers. Look at them all. I'm not picking up any energy reading. They are all deactivated. It's some kind of a suspension mode. So this is their warehouse, huh? There must be a few hundred of them here. They continue all the way back. Still, it doesn't look like a factory to me. These are endo structures which have yet to have an artificial skin installed. The bone seizing the device is in the skull. Slits are all still set to the smallest sizes. So their victims haven't been chosen yet. They are all just waiting their turn. There seems to be a number of containers stacked up in the back of the room. None of these snatchers appear damaged. All they need is their energy packs. The gender units have yet to be installed, however. I do not see any tools or equipment for maintaining anything in the area. This room will appear to be just a storage area. There is some kind of a label here. 23rd Siberian Investigative Force. Investigative Force. Siberian Investigative Force. It will appear that these snatchers were brought to Neo Kobe from the Siberian Neutral Zone. It seems that the investigating force has been responsible for shipping the snatchers. In other words, the investigating force has been snatched, just like when they found us. I see. So the Siberian investigative force bring the snatchers out of Siberia and into the storage here. I think you are right, Metal. And the snatchers just wait here in the storage to be reactivated and adjusted after their victims are selected. A rather efficient system. I wonder where the actual snatching takes place. The back part of this room may hold the answer for the question. Continue back. Oh, aquí ya tienen piel. Ahí hay un gordo. Hay algo que parece un alien. Acá hay una mujer porque se le ve las tetas. The Snatcher Culturing Room. The mechanism is operating. Gillian, there are snatchers with their artificial skin already installed here.
This is where they fuse the artificial skin onto the snatcher's endostructure. First, they adjust the size of the still skinless snatcher to the size of the individual who is to be snatched. The snatcher's overall shape and size can be adjusted by expansion or contraction of sizing rods. Their sex is controlled by gender units, which are installed at this point. Then, the face is modified to match the intended victim by adjusting the size of the upper and lower jaw, cheekbones, temporal bones, and tooth alignment.
Just like Gibson said, that means there are limits to the size of the people that they can snatch.
That's right. The limits of the mechanism mean that they can't snatch children, the elderly, or people who are very tall or heavy. And this is where the artificial muscle's attached.
Is it organic?
No, it appears to be coated with a type of plastic gel capable of mechanical response. Like human muscles, it creates mechanical energy through chemical reactions. And this is where the artificial skin is attached. In order to prevent the synthetic cells, developed using biotechnological protein design techniques, from rejecting the inorganic material below, they attach it gradually over a number of days.
And this is the stuff that gets cancer if they stay out in the sun too long.
Finally, they attach body and scalp hair. The process involves transplant of synthetic hair follicles as well, so the hair will grow back if it's lost.
What about scars or birthmarks?
It would appear that they make those adjustments at this point in the process, as they would for wrinkles to simulate age.
It appears that weak ultraviolet rays are being projected from above. This is really advanced, way beyond anything we saw at the Queen's Hospital. The whole area is protected as a clean room. There is a door at the far end of the room. It is locked, but I should be able to open from this side. Then open the door. It is set so that it cannot be opened from the inside. Ah, que me el core. This is a very sophisticated equipment. I'm surprised at the advanced level of facility they have constructed. I wonder where they were getting their funding from. They are probably supplied their financial backers with Snatcher as well. Ok, ¿qué hago ahora? But what about the videotape will come from Jamie? Entonces, ¿qué hago ahora? This terminal must all be connected to a host computer which monitor conditions inside each of the cylinders. The power is on. Look at this, Gillian. The data of people to be snatched is all being neatly processed.
So this is where the whole thing begins. The endostructures arrive here from the Kremlin. Then they convert them into copies of their victims. And finally, they head out into the city using the old subway system.
With artificial skin maintenance being handled at Queen's Hospital.
But who's behind all this?
Gillian, look at this. There are some finished snatchers over here.
Get a load of this. The U.S. President, the Prime Ministers of Japan, and the U.K.
Gillian, you're in here
what?
too.
Figures. They were looking to snatch every VIP at the summit.
And the last junker, you. It definitely looks like they plan on moving out beyond Neo Kobe.
If they were to snatch every major world leader, they'd practically be able to control the planet. Still, that's odd. With their flawed skin, pulling something off like that would really be difficult.
Chin said they had found the key to developing a perfect artificial skin. Maybe they've already produced it.
No idea. But the number of snatchers here makes it clear that they're up to something new.
Gillian, this is definitely their nest. We should destroy everything.
Not yet. Not until we found Jamie. Metal, how much time do we have left?
The summit should have begun by now. We don't have much time. And once our legal privileges are suspended, I won't be able to help. In fact, I'll be forced to restrain you.
I know. If the military wants to avoid nukes and goes for a surgical strike on this facility, what would they likely use?
Probably a phased particle beam from one of the attack satellites.
A phased particle beam, huh? That'll wipe this complex right off the map.
Everything, including the soil, will simply evaporate. The attack will leave just a large crater.
Metal, can you convince them to give me another hour? Even 30 minutes will help.
Understood. I'll try my best.
And I'll try to find and rescue Jamie in that time.
I can't transmit here due to interference from the Snow 9. I'll have to leave the area and then send the message.
All right. Do it, Metal.
Gillian, don't forget. 30 minutes. You must get out before then.
I understand.
Gillian, I'm sorry I couldn't help you better.
Don't worry about it. I'll be able to move faster by myself anyway. 30 minutes should be plenty. Go, Metal!
Yes, sir. Don't forget, 30 minutes.
Dale con los 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Me imagino que entonces estamos ya llegando al final.
That room's the only place left to check. Let's take a look.
También que iba y se me jodió todo. Cada vez se ponen más rápido y más rápido. Abajo. Esa última parte, yo me imagino que ya cuando empiezan a ponerse así de rápido es que ya están en los últimos robots. Es una pendejada cuando empiezan a venir bien rápido. Mira, no le dio. Sí, no, esa parte se pone bien jodona. Y hay a veces que yo trato de darle hacia abajo y me coge para el lado. Esta vez no me quiso bailar. ¡Arriba! Shit. ¡Para arriba, carajo! ¡Damn! ¡Maldita sea! ¡Coño! Y que no hay nada para recargar la vida o algo, o sea, es la vida que tiene y se acabó. Sal. Se fastidió. Prácticamente tiene, cuando se empiezan a amontonar así, si no le estás perfecto, fallas uno, se jodió todo. Y si no brincaran, que nada más fueran para el sitio que tienen que ir, los jodidos brinquitos a veces es lo que joden. ¿Cómo lo hago perfecto y no me quería coger para abajo? El que me dio, le estoy tratando de darle para abajo para que apunte para abajo y me se quedaba en el lado. Si no, hubiese dado a todito. Hubiese sido perfecto.
Doesn't look like there's anything here.
La pelea otra vez. Ah, shit. Normalmente está más fácil que los odios robecitos maricones aquellos. Shit. Esta parte estuvo más fácil.
Jeez, these guys are tough. Of course, I didn't exactly expect them to welcome me with open arms. Okay, let's try this next door.
Por lo visto, tenemos que estar llegando ya al final del juego. ¡Oh! Mírala ahí. ¡No! No le podemos darle. Okay.
Jamie, are you all right?
Gillian, you came for me.
Eso es lo que hace moderar para coger
they
el
won't lay a
tiro.
finger on me. Not until the new artificial skin is completed anyway.
Artificial skin research? You?
Gillian, I've got my memory back. All of it.
What happened? Tell me, Jamie.
They said they'd kill him. They said they'd kill Harry. They forced me. I had to help them
Harry
with the
está
skin
muerto,
development.
así que puedes dejar de
They
hacerlo.
said I had to help them because the professor was ill. Wasn't getting any better. Gillian, the engineer Harry, he's our son. He's been living on his own now for 50 years.
Jamie, I'm afraid that Harry's...
There was nothing I could do. They forced me. But I can't do it anymore.
She's gonna die.
Jamie!
Ella va a morir.
The professor, he just died. He was over 100.
The professor? What? This old man?
Don't you remember? It's Professor Modner. Professor Petrovich Modner.
What? This old man is Modner?
He's been confined here for 3 years now, just to develop the Snatcher's artificial skin. Terrible. Doing that to your own father.
What?
Whose father? Jamie, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You really can't remember, can you?
Jamie, tell me. Tell me who I am. What were we doing at the Kremlin?
Are you sure you really want me to, Gillian?
Es la idea del juego, si no me lo
But if you
cuenta.
must know, I'll tell you. Try to remain calm, okay? 56 years ago, you and I were involved in a top-secret Soviet project. It was still during the time of the Cold War. The gulf between East and West was as wide as ever. Everybody was worried about nukes. At that point, the world's armies were at their largest ever. Leaders still believed that a strong military meant a strong nation. There were rumors that there would be an agreement to end the production of nuclear weapons. On the other hand, the major powers like the US began to get involved in a space weapons race. But not the Soviets. The conservative despots in the Kremlin had another, completely different idea for gaining military superiority. A horrible plan, something no one else would think of. At that time, the countries of the communist bloc were facing an economic crisis. Popular movements pushing for democracy were springing up all over. Communism itself was facing extinction. Facing pressure from the reformers, the Kremlin began to panic. And that's when that horrible, childish plan was launched.
And that was the Snatcher Project. Replace your enemy's leaders with puppets of your own. Then you control their governments, their economies, take over a country from the inside out.
That's right, Gillian. And to develop these robots, they assembled some of the most brilliant scientific minds from around the world. Some of them were even brought in against their will. At the crux of that development effort was a group called the Frankenstein Project Team. You and I were members of that team, Gillian. It was a 4-person team led by the late Professor Modner here. The robotics expert was Professor Modner himself. His son, Elijah Modner, handled genetics and microbiology. For nanobiology and picobiology, myself. And for behavioral science and psychology, you, Gillian. Early development was carried out at a lab in Novosibirsk, but was later moved to a secret facility under the Kremlin. At the time, the Glasnost and Perestroika movements were gaining momentum, and they rightly feared for the existence of the program if it should become known. But some of the reformers did learn of the project, and they conspired with the US to block it. Gillian, you were a CIA special agent sent by the United States to infiltrate and sabotage the project.
I was CIA?
Yes, and the government knows that. That's why you were assigned to the Junker team.
What? Who am I?
Work on the project continued to go smoothly. But then, on June 6th, 1996, there was that accident. A mysterious explosion at the Chernobyl facility spread a bacterial weapon that was under development there into the atmosphere, destroying the country and the project. Gillian, was it you? Did you set off that explosion?
What? You can't be serious. You think I caused the catastrophe?
Eso es lo que piensan hacer ahora mismo aquí.
Professor Modner and our son Harry managed to get picked up by American agents. But we couldn't get out in time. You and I and Elijah. In a shelter below the Kremlin, we entered a cryogenic sleep. Our plan was to sleep there until the toxic effects of the bacteria were safely passed.
And then 48 years later, 3 years ago, we were discovered by the 17th Special Investigative Force.
Yes, but when they found us, Elijah's pod was already empty.
Elijah Modner? That guy whose picture was in the church? The one that looks like Random?
That's right, Elijah is alive. Elijah is here and working on the Snatchers.
Why don't you let me finish your little story?
Who's there?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jamie? Ah, yes. And Gillian. It's me, Jamie.
Elijah? Is that really you?
Random? No. Not quite.
So you remember me, do you? I am Elijah Modnar, the only son of Professor Petrovich Modnar. I'm afraid I've grown somewhat old and feeble since we last met, however.
Elijah, why are you doing this? Your father, Professor Modner, he passed away a few minutes ago.
What? My father? My father is dead?
Elijah, what happened to you? The Elijah I knew could never do anything like this.
I've changed, Jamie. These 40 years have changed me.
I can't believe it. What happened to you?
What happened to me?
Interesante, ¿no?
Jamie, do I actually have to explain it to you? Jamie, it's you. Your beauty is the cause of all that has come to pass here. 57 years ago, I was obsessed. With my research, yes. And with you, Jamie. At the time, I was still young, having just graduated with my genetic engineering degree. My father's connections got me on the team, and there, I met you. You were working as my father's assistant. Your beauty, your smile, I was stricken. I saw something in you that I never felt with women of my own country. You warmed my cold, young heart, Jamie. You opened me up, and I couldn't stop my feelings.
Elijah!
Oh, I was so happy. The political situation was crumbling around us, but every day was a joy. I gained my father's trust, and with you there watching over me, I was able to work as hard as I ever have on the project. However, my happiness did not last for long. Gillian, it was you. You showed up and all was ruined. You arrived and joined our project team. Far from home, Jamie found comfort in a man from the same land. Your relationship grew
todo por los celos.
And all I could do was stand by and watch. Jamie and Gillian fell in love, were joined, and even had a child.
Harry.
Even then, my feelings for you only grew stronger. Worried about me, my father tried to have me removed from the project, but I persisted. Jamie, I always wanted to be near you. And then, the democratic movements that had consumed the rest of the Eastern Bloc spread to our country as well. The Cold War was over. The hardliners who had pushed for its development were stripped of power and the project was cancelled. The reformers, trying to cover up the existence of such a crazed project, ordered that all materials related to it be destroyed and that we stand trial for our actions. Jamie and Gillian were to be returned to their homeland. That's about the time that I learned that you, Gillian, that you were a CIA agent, and that you were trying to pass documents on our research to your military. The country had sold us out. I'm no politician. I couldn't care less about what happened to the country. All I cared about was my research and Jamie. And I was to lose all of that,
because
everything.
Of you.
For someone so young, you cannot understand how great of a shock that was.
Elijah.
That is when I decided, I swore I would see that secret, crazed project through to the end. At the time, the bioroids were 80% finished. The main part, their endostructure, was essentially completed. But we still were having trouble with the artificial skin, the area that Jamie and I were assigned to. We called it artificial skin, but there was of course no need to duplicate T lymphocytes, Langerhans cells, or endocrine cells. All we needed was keratinized cells and melanocytes to provide the pigment. With the artificial protein development techniques that we had in those days, full-scale synthetic cell development was very difficult. Research like this took months, years.
It's like dragging
the original
story
project
around.
called for us to simultaneously snatch an entire country. In other words, a whole nation, or an entire city had to be snatched over the course of one night. For that reason, a powerful biological agent, which could quickly and effectively kill the population of the country, was being simultaneously developed.
Lucifer Alpha.
That's right. A type RAO11 virus which another team was developing. For someone like myself, who was closely involved in the project, blowing up the lab was quite a simple task.
My God, Elijah, do you know what you're saying? That explosion killed half the world's population.
I moved all the materials and records essential to the Bioroid project into the shelter and executed my plan on June 6th. After sealing off the lab, I brought the two of you with me to the underground shelter, and we entered a cryogenic sleep. But not before I programmed an atmospheric research satellite to transmit a wake signal when the danger from Lucifer Alpha had passed.
And 10 years later, Lucifer Alpha naturally mutated into a non-toxic form.
But the automatic revival system
Pero si él le
failed
tiene
to
celos
work.
a Gillian, ¿por qué lo llevó él también?
Oh no, it worked. Just as planned. It revived me 10 years later. A little sooner than the two of you, of course.
But even though you sealed the lab with the explosion and everything, you should have been exposed. Why weren't you?
Oh, I was. But by that time, the vaccine L Angels had already been developed.
So everything went just as you planned it then?
Yes, up until that point. But my real struggle was yet to come. My original plan was to revive Jamie as well, and for the two of us to finish the development of the bioroids. You, Gillian, you were to stay asleep forever. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Not after looking at Jamie's peaceful face there in the pod. Besides, I could never have convinced her to work with me on the project anyway. I knew the time was not yet right, so I changed the timers of your pods to permanent on.
How? How could you do such a thing?
And so for the next 40 years, I worked alone in that cold and lonely room under the Kremlin, trying to complete the artificial skin for the Snatchers. For days and days, no one would visit me. I never saw the sun or felt the changing of the seasons. Still, I always had Jamie by my side. You were always there for me to talk to. Just you and I for 40 years in that dark cellar.
Oh, you poor, poor man.
And then, 3 years ago, my research was finally completed. First, I snatched the Siberian Special Investigative Forces to establish a transport route for the Snatchers. And then, to test the effect of large-scale snatch operations, I chose Neo-Kobe City to be my experimental sample. Neo-Kobe is cut off from the surrounding areas, a sort of miniature country in itself, making it a perfect test site. And since it's a melting pot of various races, it would also allow me to gather extensive data on Snatcher modification and operational techniques. In addition, the element of suspicion or mistrust, which runs deep in Japanese culture, was another reason I chose this site.
But your test revealed a critical flaw in your machine's artificial skin.
Yes, quite unexpected, I'm afraid. All my research for 40 years. I gathered data and worked day and night to find a solution, but nothing seemed to work.
So that's why you decided to bring Professor Modner here, right?
That's correct. I discovered my father in one of the government's hospitals. He was old, but still very sound of mind. Naturally, he would not cooperate with me.
Of course not. He'd never become involved in something like that.
So, unable to receive his assistance, I decided that I had to have yours. But a mistake on my part allowed both you and Gillian to be taken into custody by the authorities first.
Just what are you trying to accomplish, Elijah? You must know you can never get Jamie back.
I'm only interested in discovering what I can of the human animal. In the past, it was because of Jamie. My motive is different now.
It sounds like you're just suffering from the wild arrogance that corrupts so many scientists.
Humans are such weak creatures. No matter how much they trust one another, the tiniest speck of suspicion can destroy it all. Look at how the Snatcher problem has caused such wild unrest. No matter how much science advances or how high we set our ideals, we eventually begin to suspect each other, to hate each other, and then to kill each other. The Snatchers are nothing more than a tool for bringing out this reaction. I am simply using the Snatchers to elicit the true nature of the human animal. I think this experiment has shown me the limits of human society. I sincerely doubt it will be able to reach any greater level of prosperity on its own. If human society ever hopes to reach greater heights, what is needed is an absolute leader, a firm ruler who isn't affected by these trivial episodes of mistrust.
You're crazy if you think people would ever obey Snatchers.
Of course they wouldn't. But if they don't know, they cannot object. There has been a time in every age that the people have longed for a god to lead them. As long as they give the people no reason to suspect them, then they can easily become their gods. Indeed, a new race of super beings. We are almost there. Once we perfect the artificial skin, Snatchers will transcend man to become this planet's true human beings.
But you'll never get your perfect skin now. Professor Modner is dead.
I no longer have any use for my father. I have a sample of the new skin he developed. Once I've analyzed it, I'll be able to make as much as I need. Or if need be, we could simply culture the keratinized cells, epithelial cells, and melanocytes in the quantities that we need.
What are you talking about? How could you get a sample of perfected artificial skin?
Why don't you take a look at this? We found this in the rubble of Queen's Hospital.
Random!
Oh, an acquaintance of yours?
He's a Snatcher?
That term isn't exactly accurate. This bioroid was constructed by my father without my knowledge. He modeled it after me in my youth. He built it right here in this facility. And not only that, he programmed it to destroy Snatchers. This bioroid caused me serious difficulties. It's designed and built far better than my Snatchers. The machine itself thought it was human. My father input memories for it all the way back to childhood. Those, too, were apparently mine. Haven't you yet realized? Random Hajil is Elijah Modner spelled backwards. How like my father, silly old man. He did virtually overnight what I could not do in 40 years of effort. Furthermore, he makes a bioroid so perfect, even the bioroid itself believes itself to be real. What's more, the cells of the skin he developed are self-replicating. Once in place, no further transplants or culturing is necessary.
Is he dead?
Its main and locomotive systems are completely shut down. It's just scrap now. But the artificial skin is being kept alive. This we need. With this, we can move to phase 2 of our plan, a full-scale infiltration of the world's major nations.
The summit's already over. You'll never succeed.
What does the summit matter? Nothing holds us back now that we have this perfect skin. We can go anywhere we want, and there will be no way to tell us apart. I will have free control over the world. Nothing will be able to stop me. Politics and free thought will no longer have any meaning. My will alone will decide the course of human history.
You egomaniac. Do you think you can snatch the entire population?
There's a fully automated snatcher factory under the Kremlin. Even as we speak, scores of new snatchers are being born.
But no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to snatch the people's heart and soul. What do you hope to gain from this anyway?
Jamie, the human race is composed of fools. But I'm different. I will be its savior. Indeed, not just of mankind, but of all life on the planet.
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Metal!
In 10 minutes, this church will be struck by a phased particle beam. I am guiding the beam from the attack satellite using GPS and 15 navigational satellites. The beam cannot miss. Everything in a 2 to 3 kilometer radius from me will be destroyed.
Stop this foolishness now.
We have to get out of here.
Not have my research destroyed by some souped-up pocket calculator.
Metal, what happened at the summit?
The delegates, worried about the Snatcher menace, voted unanimously to allow the use of nuclear weapons on the city. The military is presently imposing a quarantine on Neo Kobe.
What? Do they intend to kill everybody?
The populace is in a state of panic. However, they have agreed to lift the quarantine if this church is struck by the phased particle beam. This is our last chance. I will handle things here. Gillian, Jamie, you two must flee.
You insignificant mass of metal. You'll never...
One move and I detonate. Gillian, run!
Metal, this is crazy!
We can't let a single Snatcher get out of here. And this new artificial skin has to be destroyed as well.
I will not allow some talking scrap pile to get away with this. If you're the aiming point for the beam, then I'll just have you thrown out of here. Grab this little one and take him out of here.
Okay.
Metal!
Cowardly little robot.
You always were a real pain in the butt.
What's that?
Mira la cámara. Mira, está vivo.
What? How did... You're supposed to be deactivated.
I don't go down that easy, old man.
Stop this foolish...
Shut up! Let's try to make our final moments peaceful, shall we? And you Snatchers, you touch the little guy and the old man's head comes off. Random! I've always hated being used. Why don't you watch the final act with me?
Gillian, you only have 5 minutes. The turbo cycle is just outside on standby. Use that to flee.
Let me go. I'm Elijah Modner. I'm your original.
I don't care if I'm an original or a copy or what. You and I are gonna die right here. If we both die, there won't be a copy anymore now, will there?
The stupid logic of a simpleton, of a machine.
Whatever it is, it's my will!
Machines have no will. Machines cannot sacrifice themselves.
We'll see about that.
Sería la segunda vez que lo hace en este juego, que se sacrifica por los demás.
Stop! Gillian, even if these memories in my head are fiction...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Our memories of our time together are all too real, Random.
Gillian, you become one hell of a junker.
Gillian, it has been most recreational being your partner.
Oh, metal.
If you can, try to pick up the pieces for me, okay? Like we did for Little John.
Little John? Oh! Okay, Metal.
Hurry! You only have 3 minutes.
Thanks. Thanks, you two. Jamie, come on.
No! Don't let her go! No!
You're dead.
You pathetic old fool! You don't even know how to love someone!
You stupid machine! What is that idiotic grin supposed to mean?
By snatching you, I'm finally gonna get my real self back!
Random, there's less than 1 minute to go. Thanks to you, everything will be fine.
You don't owe me any thanks. Sorry to get you involved in such a big job. You did great. You're a hell of a junker.
3, 2, 1, here it comes!
Later, kid!
This is the end. No more gameplay then.
17 Special Engineering Squad, report for boarding immediately.
So you're really going, aren't you?
It's our responsibility, too. Besides, if I go to Moscow, I may get some of my memory back. And if that happens, I'll be able to love you even more than I do now. Wait for me. I want to be with you, but first I've got to destroy this terrible factory of theirs. Jamie, when I get back, let's try living together again. What do you say?
13 Special Operations Squad and all objective personnel, report immediately for departure.
We'll be waiting for you too.
Katrina! Mika! You're here too?
You better be happy, Buster, with all these beautiful women seeing you off.
I'm happy you came. Let me introduce my wife.
Jamie Seed. I suppose it's a little odd introducing myself a second time, though.
What do you mean? You've never met them before, have you?
What are you talking about, Gillian? We're good friends.
Huh? Since when?
It's the first time I've met her in person, but I've spoken with her on the video phone a lot of times.
What? Have you guys been talking about me behind my back?
I'm really sorry for all the worries I caused you. This kid has such a rough time. She's almost everything practically overnight. She lost almost everything practically overnight. She's done a really great job. I owe her a lot of thanks. Well, duh. Trying to learn more about you was how our relationship started. I was telling Mika about how lonely I was being home alone all that time, and she told me that Jamie was always worried about me. So I have her in a video phone call. Before I knew it, we really became close, didn't we? That's odd. Our relationship was gone beyond just being friends. Beyond just friends? That sounds pretty good to me. What the fuck? Don't be stupid, Gideon. You have a warped mind sometimes, you know. Yeah, medio fresquito él. Oh, I don't. Ok, ahí terminó la conversación de ella. With even Alice gone, I was really lonely. Katrina. They were both easy to talk to. It's like I have got two real sisters now. Pues va a tirar las hermanas ahora. They are just like family to me now. While you were away, I hope it's okay for Jamie to come and live with me. Yeah, I have no problem with that all. It will be shortened by commutes as well, so I'll be killing two birds with one stone. Great, I'm so happy. It is nice to have somebody else living in the house with me. Ok, ya ahí terminó de ella. Ahora vamos con Jamie. I'm so tired of living alone. Maybe I'll be asking Katrina if I can move with her in the near future. Eso es lo que acaba de decir ella. I feel almost if I have got a new little sister. It's really wonderful. Katrina is such a cheerful and sweet kid.
So have they finalized what they're going to do about Junker operations?
Okay.
I suppose this will end up being our last mission, huh?
Well, originally they were planning on disbanding the team, but now they've decided to keep us in business.
So that means...
That's right. We've been designated as one of the government's special police divisions. That puts us above the regular cops.
So the government has decided that crime by machines poses a bigger threat than crime by humans from here on out, huh?
They've chosen the new chief, too. So when you get back, you'll get to meet the new head honcho.
Well, it's comforting to know I've got a place I can come back to.
Have a safe trip, Second Lieutenant Seat. I'm in Second Lieutenant as well, so let's try to work well together when you get back. What? I'm a Second Lieutenant? How come my rank is even lower than that I had in the army?
Whatever you do, just come home safe, okay?
Okay.
When you get back from this job, you still have a dinner date to keep with me, you know.
Don't worry. I won't forget my promises to either of you. Oops, almost forgot. Of course, I want to spend some private moments with my wife, too, huh? What's wrong, Jamie?
Harry and I will be waiting for you to get home.
That's Harry's hat.
We can do it this time, Gillian. Not some fake couple like before, but with love and trust.
I know, Jamie.
Take care, Gillian.
I'll see you, Jamie.
Wait! Wait for me! Take me with you, please!
You? Metal?
Yes, sir! We didn't have a good frame to work with, so this is
No lo había visto en el Sega CD con el Genesis. Qué confiado.
So they found your memory chip in one piece, eh?
Random protected it from the blast of the beam.
Qué cómico.
Random, huh?
Ah, alguien estornudó.
Wait a second. I've heard that sneeze somewhere before.
Really? I didn't hear anything. Anyway, I want to know if you'll take me with you. Please, Gillian, please take me with you.
Hurry up and get on board, partner.
Yes, sir, Gillian.
Estoy tomando las fotos ahora mismo.
Suspicion has always bred conflict. The real conflict, though, resides in people's hearts. This conflict has just begun.
Porque esto es de Summer Backlog, así que... ¡Y terminamos Snatcher! El creador Hideo Kojima. Terminamos Snatcher. Y menos mal porque ya yo había hecho la última promo que me quedaba. Fue la que utilicé para hoy. O sea, no tengo que hacer más ninguna de Snatcher. Voy a coger esta con los créditos. Yeah. Nice. Es más corto de lo que yo esperaba este juego. O sea, yo esperaba que fuese mucho más largo. Pero creo que el length que tiene la historia está bastante buena. O sea, está bastante buena. 3 actos como tal. El último acto es bastante corto. Pero la historia está bien buena. Para decirte, yo soy fanático de Blade Runner, pero esta historia me interesó más que Blade Runner. Para decir, pues Blade Runner es bien difícil de ver. O sea, Blade Runner es bien difícil de ver. O sea, no es una película para todo el mundo. Pero fíjate, de verdad que me gustó. Esta clase de juego a mí me encanta. Y es por eso mismo, es tan heavy en la historia, ¿sabes? Y de verdad que Hideo Kojima tiene una mente del carajo. O sea, el tipo tiene una mente del carajo. Y lo bueno de este juego como tal es el voice acting. Tiene un voice acting tan y tan bueno. Que entonces tú te envuelves en la historia. O sea, no aburre porque el voice acting ayuda un montón a que la historia corra bien, en que uno esté interesado en la historia, en que uno quiera continuar viendo la historia. Porque el juego de por sí, el gameplay que tiene es bien mínimo. En este caso es el shooting, pero no sucede tanto en el juego. O sea, son muy pocas veces que tú estás disparando. O sea, estás en esas escenas de disparos. O sea, bien poco lo que sale de eso. Todo lo demás es sencillamente escoger las cosas. Un graphic novel de por sí, pero bien buena. O sea, está bien buena, bien hecho. De verdad que no puedo creer que yo me haya tardado tanto en jugar este juego. Obviamente nunca lo había podido comprarlo. No lo tengo original, pero gracias a Dios al Sega Genesis Mini, pues se me hace mucho más fácil poder jugarlo de esta manera. Y no me siento mal por estar utilizando una emulación o algo por eso, porque me siento que lo estoy jugando en el Genesis como tal, aunque no tiene el attachment del Sega CD, pero me siento como que lo estoy haciendo en la consola real. Es que es lo que me impide a mí jugar juegos en emuladores y todo eso. No me gusta, me siento raro haciendo eso. Pero qué raro que este juego que es tan importante, que tiene mucha fanaticada, que en el Sega CD es sumamente buscado. Las versiones que salieron para PlayStation, que salió para Saturno, que salió para el Dreamcast, no los trajeron para acá, se quedaron en Japón. Y es como el juego de Police Notes. Police Notes es otro juego de Konami que se quedó en Japón y a mí me encantaría jugarlo, pero tendría que tener que estuviese parchado y que yo lo pudiese quemarlo o algo, poder jugarlo. Producido por Konami Company Ltd. Tremendo juego, tremendo juego. De verdad que sí. Tremendo juego. Sumamente bueno. Así que estaré poniendo en lista como tal el de Cobra. En algún momento más adelante estaríamos jugando el de Space Adventure Cobra, que es algo bien parecido a lo que vimos en este juego. Y ahí lo terminamos. De verdad que he quedado sumamente sorprendido con este juego. De verdad que me gustó un montón. Yo sabía que me iba a gustar, porque ya yo había pasado por esto anteriormente. O sea, ya yo había jugado el de Cobra, y el de Cobra es más o menos lo mismo. Y este juego es del 94 en el Sega CD. Del 94. Qué bueno está este juego, de verdad que sí, qué bueno está. De verdad que me alegro mucho el haber tomado la decisión de jugar este juego en el Summer Backlog Challenge, de haberlo jugado ahora, porque de verdad que pasé una buena experiencia jugando el juego, una historia que está sumamente buena. Pero qué lamentable que estas versiones de Dreamcast y de Saturno, que tienen mejores gráficas y todo eso, no hayan salido para el mercado norteamericano. O sea, todo se quedó en Japón. No entiendo, o sea, esto ha pasado con otros juegos ya que han salido en el mercado americano, se han vendido bien, la gente los sigue buscando, pero cuando hacen un remake o hacen una versión nueva, lo dejan en Japón y no los traen para acá, y ha pasado ya con varios juegos. O sea, que no entiendo por qué lo hacen, ¿verdad? O sea, pero de verdad que tremendo juego, me divertí un montón, la historia está sumamente bueno, sumamente recomendable. Un juego que una vez que tengan el Sega Genesis Mini, aquellos que todavía no lo han conseguido y lo quieran conseguirlo para modificarlo, para poner el Project Lunar y poder tener acceso a todos los demás juegos del catálogo del Genesis, Sega CD 32X, es un juego que deben de incluirlo, es un juego que deben de sentarse a jugarlo, es un juego que deben de pasar la experiencia por él, para que entonces vivan una forma de juego que hoy en día no se ve tan fuerte como fue en aquel momento, al menos que tú vivas en Japón. En Japón esta clase de juegos es sumamente popular todavía. Consolas portátiles lo utilizan mucho. Lo que fue el PSP, lo que fue el Vita, lo que fue el 10, el 3DS, tiene mucho de estos juegos así como tal, que son novelas gráficas. Mi esposa como tal, ella tiene un Vita, y entonces ella tiene varios juegos de estos así. A ella le gustan mucho estos graphic novels. Y hay una compañía en específico que hace estos juegos que a ella le fascina. Y o sea, le gusta tanto que se ha metido hasta comprar Collector's Edition de estos juegos. Japón sumamente popular. Aquí en el lado del mercado norteamericano y todo eso, fue bien popular en ese tiempo, cuando los juegos en CD empezaron a salir. Pues estuvieron estas clases de juegos que eran una novela, una película, y tú lo que tenías que hacer era coger opciones como tal. Juegos que yo estuve jugando así, además de Space Adventure Cobra, fueron los juegos de Sherlock Holmes, Consultant Detective en el Sega CD, que yo tengo el primer disco son 2 volúmenes. Yo tengo el primero que me vino con mi Sega CD modelo 1 original que yo tenía. Lo malo es que el disco no funcionaba muy bien porque nada más me dejaba accesar me dejaba accesar una de los casos por completo. Otro caso no subía absolutamente nada, y el otro caso me dejaba ver el principio y después ahí se quedaba y no corría más. No sé qué le había pasado a ese disco, y fue una cosa la que compré en segundas manos. Todo lo demás funcionaba menos eso en ese juego. Todos los discos que traía ese CD originalmente, traía dos discos de música, que uno de ellos traía gráficas, que mientras la música corría tú veías como una especie de video musical con gráficas en pantalla. Traía el disco de Sherlock Holmes Consultant Detective, y traía el disco de Sega Classics, donde traía Golden Axe, Street for Rage, traía Revenge of Shinobi, y traía Columns, todos ellos en un solo disco. Después hay una segunda versión de ese disco donde incluyen, adicional a esos 4 juegos, incluyen Monaco GP, pero yo tengo el disco original que eran esos 4 juegos nada más. Golden Axe, que no se puede jugar de 2, no sé por qué lo hicieron de esa forma. Street for Rage 1, que le cambiaron las voces. Revenge of Shinobi, que también le cambiaron las voces, y es una de las revisiones del juego. Y de igual manera, pues Columns, es el mismo juego de Columns con mejor música. Pero sí, o sea, eso era todo lo que trae el Sega CD, y sencillamente el único juego que no funcionaba bien era el de Sherlock Holmes. Pero por lo menos pude jugar uno de los casos que lo jugué completo, que era un caso de una momia, y sumamente bueno. Son juegos como tal que es lo mismo que leer un libro. Hay personas que no les gusta leer libros. A mí me encanta escribir, pero no me gusta leer mucho. Pero sin embargo, lo que son audiobooks o juegos como que tú te metes en la historia y tú según las acciones que tú hagas cambias el outcome de la historia, a mí me encanta. Por eso es que a mí me fascinaban mucho los juegos de Telltales. Esa compañía a mí me fascinaba, y de verdad que me dolió mucho cuando se declararon en bancarrota y tuvieron que cerrar sus puertas, porque en verdad que me fascinaban los juegos de esa compañía. El único juego que nunca me gustó fue el de Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones yo lo compré por la fiebre, y de verdad que el juego es bien aburrido, bien aburrido. Bueno, mi gente, ya como tal estamos dándole fin a Snatcher. Ya salimos de él, terminamos ya lo que era Darksiders, terminamos ya lo que es Snatchers. Vamos a estar entonces pasando a otros juegos como tal para entonces continuar las transmisiones. Así que tengo en mente, yo tengo unos juegos de PlayStation 3 que tengo que jugar como parte de Summer Backlog Challenge, pero no los he puesto todavía como parte de las transmisiones, porque estoy teniendo problemas con el control del PlayStation 3 y estoy tratando de reemplazarlo, y al menos que no lo reemplace, pues se me va a ser difícil poder jugar, porque va a ser un fastidio jugar el PlayStation 3. Yo tengo un control como tal adicional de PlayStation 3, pero ese control es tan duro y es tan difícil utilizarlo, que me saca, o sea, y en verdad es una pendeja jugar con ese control. Tengo que chequear, yo no sé si Nuki, mi hermano, tenga algún control que esté funcionando, que me lo pueda prestar mientras tanto, pero chequear. Pero entonces tengo pendiente lo que es Mad Max. Tengo pendiente también, porque Mad Max lo bajé y lo quiero jugar. Lo probé por encimita y me gustó. Edgar lo estuvo jugando y lo terminó para el Summer Backlog Challenge, y me llamó la atención y lo bajé, y de verdad que está bien bueno. Tengo el de Tom Clancy Hawks, que lo tengo por ahí también pendiente. Así que tengo varias cositas. También está DMC para el Xbox, como parte de las transmisiones de Box. Así que pendiente a todo eso. Recuerden que nos pueden seguirnos en Facebook como The B-Force. En The B-Force nosotros posteamos toda clase de información de juegos que tengan que ver con multiplayer, ya que nosotros jugamos multiplayer entre todos nosotros. Pero de igual manera ponemos toda clase de información sobre el mundo geek, películas, series, cómics, lo que sea. Pendientes a la información que estamos poniendo allí, que también posteamos todo lo que estemos haciendo a través del canal o de nuestros canales respectivamente. Especiales sobre juegos, también todo eso lo vamos a estar posteando por allí. Así que si no se ha unido al grupo de B-Force, pase por Facebook para que entonces se unan con nosotros. De igual manera, yo soy parte del equipo de Extra Lifers 24/7, jugando por la Fundación de Niños San Jorge de Puerto Rico, a través del maratón de 24 horas de Extra Life, a celebrarse el próximo 7 de noviembre. Pero en agosto 8 y agosto 9 vamos a estar celebrando nuestra segunda actividad de equipo de este año, el Extra Lifers 24/7 Raid Marathon 2. Esto va a ser el próximo 8 y 9 de agosto, comenzando a las 8 de la noche y terminando a las 8, comenzando a las 8 de la mañana y culminando a las 8 de la noche ambos días. Yo por mi parte voy a estar participando el sábado 8, desde las 5 de la tarde hasta las 8 de la noche, jugando el juego de Red Steel. Así que si me quiere ver maldecir un juego a todo lo que da, dése la vuelta por allí. Pero recuerde que esto lo estamos haciendo a beneficio de la Fundación de Niños San Jorge de Puerto Rico. Así que todo donativo recaudado va directamente a la fundación. Nada del dinero que se recauda nosotros lo tocamos. Esto va a ayudar a los niños de la fundación a poder recibir todos los servicios y tratamientos médicos que ellos tanto necesitan. Usted puede hacer su donativo a través de tinyurl.com/el24720. De esa manera lo hace directamente al equipo. Pero si usted me quiere auspiciar directamente a mí, lo puede hacer a través de el link que está en pantalla, tinyurl.com/videum20. Mi gente, yo me voy despidiendo. Depende cómo estén las cosas mañana. Yo puedo estar subiendo nuevamente mañana con otra transmisión, así que pendientes a nuestro grupo en Facebook para esa información de mañana. Y nada, mi gente, gracias a todos los que se dieron cita. De verdad que la pasamos muy bien. Yo me despido. Nos vemos entonces hasta la próxima. Se me cuida un montón. Nos vemos. Bye bye.